What the hell? This is set up right. Where's audio? Riley's back. Let's try that again.
Tune in most days of the week, and he'll be there schooling some ignorant creep, or catch him on a gaming whim. But this ain't a game to him. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. So join Jovan and get your critical cap on. 'Cause there's a Bradley's baddie inside of me and you.
Hey. Welcome in. Let's say what's up. First of all, Ferocity, King Puff, and Pit B Joe. Thank you guys hit the first, second, and third. So congratulations on that. Welcome into the stream. Shout out to Rain the Mancer, Rent5, and Flying Leech for resubbing and subscribing. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are things going? Welcome to the stream. My name is Dinglebutts McFartfairy. It's nice to meet you. How's everybody doing today? I bought a Switch 2 so I can play Pokemon. And I don't know that I like it. I've only played like 5 minutes. I was playing it last night, but then I got really tired. So the question becomes, do we play Pokemon after debates today? That's the question that we ask ourselves. You remember when it's rents? Oh yeah, I got you. The E and the 3 is the E and the 5 is an S. I got you. How do you feel about the 2 itself? I haven't had enough time with it to tell you. I set it up at like 11 p.m. last night and I was asleep by like 11:30. So I played like 2 heats in Mario Kart World. It's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try it out, see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'm taking it back. Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. Favorite Pokemon's Arcanine. I don't even have to think about it. I need to eat something. I forgot to eat before we started the stream. What do I want for breakfast? Do I just want cereal? My favorite cereal is Captain Crunch. Do I just want some cereal right now? Go make me a quick bowl. Okay, let me quickly make a quick bowl. Quick bowl of cereal. 1 second, chat. Okay, I got a bowl of cereal. Low key, Captain Crunch. I might be losing Captain Crunch as a safe food. The last 3 bowls I've had, I've been like, ugh, this is disgusting. If I lose Captain Crunch as a safe food, I might crash the fuck out. I might crash the fuck out, bro. If I lose Captain Crunch, what will I do? It's my favorite cereal. Nothing even comes close. So what did we decide? Are we playing Pokemon after debates? Did we decide we want to do that? I'm gonna make sure the Switch 2 is set up and working. If 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 Captain Crunch cuts up the roof of your mouth, that's a you issue. That's a skill issue for real. For real, for real. I hear my Switch. Why can't I see my Switch? I'll have to figure out why that is. No, I'm not just on Insta. I live here. I'm with the shits. Huh. Okay. Well, everything's hooked up. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Everything's hooked up. That kind of sucks. I mean, I'll be able to figure it out. It's just annoying that it's I have to. Let me see if there's a setting on there. I don't think there is. Oh, make sure you correct the correct AC adapter. You fucks. You can't use a Switch 1 AC adapter for the Switch 2, apparently. That's what it is. It's fucking annoying. I promise you they put out the same fucking wattage. I guarantee it. Now it's working. So, why does it look like that? Look, this looks weird. Look, chat. Why does it look like this? I wonder if it's because it's going through my switcher. Or if it's something with the HDR. I don't know what the brightness would matter. It's on. I have this shit plugged in. Let's see. Let's open up a game and see. Oh, but wait. It looks fine. It looks fine on this screen. It's something about this is fucking with it. Like, it literally looks fine. What? Oh? The saturation is at 0. When I turn the saturation up, it looks better. Interesting. Well, it works. That's all that matters. It's not the HDR. Because I have it going through my Elgato. And when I pull up my Elgato capture utility, which is just showing me what that source is doing, it looks fine. It's something in vMix. It's something in my streaming program. I'm going to be honest. I spent a month, 2 months now, using vMix. And my thought is that I'm going to go back to OBS and see how I feel. I think OBS might be better. I don't know. vMix has a lot of good automated, like automation stuff, where it will do a lot for me without me having to do it. And I like that. OBS is open source. Oh fuck, my auto white balance is on for this camera still. Let me see if I can change that. Oh, camera, you fuck. You know what? I really don't want to fuck with it. I really don't want to fuck with it. All right, let's get debates ready to go. Should I wake up or should I just keep owning libtards?
You are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-in Studio web interface.
Okay, here we go. Let's go live. Sorry, that was a big stretch. That was a big stretch. Well, look at here, Stretch. Look at here. Look at here, Stretch. I'm too busy looking for a dame. Yeah, see? That's yeah, see? I'm too busy looking for a dime piece, see? Who created the term dime piece? By the way, I have a theory that time travel's already been invented. But it's not time travel in the way you think it's time travel. I have a theory that time travel was invented in a way where we could go back and see past events, but we can't interact with past events. And the church invented it and learned that Jesus wasn't real. So they've hidden it away. They don't want us learning Jesus isn't real. So the church won't give us the time travel technology. How'd you come up with that? I made it up. I fibbed. Well, I never thought that it'd be so simple, but I found a way. I found a way. If you open up your mind, it's gonna take some time to realize. Huh. Stream's current bitrate, 4,180, is higher than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that uses stream bitrate of 1,000 kilobytes per second. Well, okay, YouTube, what if I change that real quick? But if you look inside, I'm sure you'll find. So just turn around. All right, I changed YouTube's bitrate way lower because YouTube was like, why don't use a bitrate of 1,000? And I said, okay, YouTube, if you want me to use a bitrate of 1,000, I will. So, like, if that works, that should actually help some of my internet stuff. That's a much lower bitrate than I've been rolling with. All right. Number 1 on the board, MAGA is a fascist movement. Number 2 on the board, Trump is a terrible president. Number 3 on the board, ICE is anti-America. Number 4 on the board, why do you still support Trump? Number 5 on the board, trans men and women are men and women. And number 6 on the board, pro-choice. If you want to debate any of those topics, you call in. The number on the screen is there, 219-327-8005. That number, again, 219-327-8005. By the way, Jovan, you were not the only one to laugh yesterday with the bless you orange/banana call. Oh, the one with Matt? Yeah, that shit was crazy. I gotta clip that call for real, for real. For real, for real. I'm gonna clip that call. Stay with me, the world is dark and wide. Stay a child while you can be a child. The Welsh guy? Yeah, the Welsh guy. The Welsh guy was crazy. 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 He was crazy. Who out there can love you more than I? What out there that I cannot supply? Stay with me. I don't know, my other political debate channels were super slow last night as well. Maybe Maga disappeared yesterday. What was yesterday? Thursday? It's because their welfare checks it. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did I say that? Anyway. Don't you know what's out there in the woods? Anyway, we're here. I'm going to be starting a call-in stream, not a binge. I don't know what to do while I wait for callers and an audience to form. You better get good at improv and fill in time. ADHD's whooping your ass. It tends to. Who out there could love you more than I? What out there that I cannot supply? Stay with me. I need to find some theater to do down here. Goddamn, Florida sucks for theater. I miss New York. Now here's the thing. I don't like improv because I'm really bad at it. I also don't like improv. I like improv that's slightly more structured. Because I love, like, drop out. I love, like, make some noise, and that's all improv. But, like, when I go see an improv show, I'm always like, this is not funny. The stars in Tampa. I don't live near Tampa. I need to get a new piano. Oh, maybe that's what I'll do. I mean, my piano in there is just, oh god, it's got some electrical issues, so it keeps crackling. Children will listen. Careful the things you do. Children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. I'm going to throw this out there. I know that Sam Reich will never hear this, okay? Clip this, chat. I'm not afraid. I know Sam Reich will never hear this, and this is my challenge to Sam Reich. I promise you I would win every episode of Game Changer you've ever done. I would win every episode of Game Changer. I don't care. You could make the hardest episode of Game Changer that exists. I would win. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to make an embarrassing bet about it. That's how confident I am in my Game Changer skills. Every episode of Game Changer I watch, I'm like, I could win this one. Easy. Easy. Especially the second place challenge. I just get worse as time goes on. I've watched Taskmaster. I could win every Taskmaster episode. Easy. Maybe for the sub over on Twitch. I could win every Taskmaster episode. Easy. Easy, dude. Wouldn't even be hard. I could. Winter Park's not that far from me. I just haven't looked at what they're doing over there, theater wise. How many followers do you need to get consideration from Dropout? I think I'd need to be a comedian first and foremost. I'm not a comedian. And I know Dropout is pretty with the shits. I don't know how with the shits they are with like some of the shit that I say. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Shrimp, leave me alone. All I'm saying, every episode of Game Changer, I feel like I could like knock it out of the park. It's the same. I think I could win every Mr. Beast challenge. When Mr. Beast is like, stay in a grocery store, clip this, post this online. I could beat every one of Mr. Beast's locked in somewhere challenges. They wouldn't even be hard. How long can you stay in a grocery store? 7 years. How much money you got? I would bleed you dry. Jimmy Beast. Jimmy Mr. Jimmy Beast. I would bleed you dry, Jimmy Mr. Jimmy Beast. Mr. Beast, Jimmy. Oh, you got to stay locked in a bunker. Easy. And you got to do it with someone you might not get along with. Great. I'm telling this person, what do you want me to do? I will be the person. I don't give a fuck. We're making that money. What do you want? I will just bow to your whims for a couple months. I don't care. I think Mr. Beast, Jimmy Beast, Mr. There's not a single one of those locked in challenges that they're not difficult. Sorry. Everyone who doesn't get $1 million from those, I don't know what you're doing. Not only, someone clip this and post this and share this, Mr. Beast. Not only could I beat all your challenges, I would donate most of the money I won. Easy. It would be so easy to beat a locked in Mr. Beast challenge. Are you kidding me? The only thing that would be difficult is like making sure my rent is still being paid. You know what I'm talking about? But other than that, I don't know if he pays people's rents and like their bills while they're gone. But other than that, Jimmy Beast uses psychological torture. It wouldn't work on me. That's what I'm telling you. It wouldn't work on me. I'm built different. Clip it. Claustrophobia of not seeing daylight would fuck with me. I already don't see daylight. I don't like going outside. That's the 2 in the wilderness. That's a different story. I couldn't do that one. I recognize my skill set. He trapped a guy in a burning building for $500,000. Easy. I could do that easy. Burning building, let's go. There's nothing Mr. Beast could do that's worse than what's going on up here, bro. So if you're like, we're locking you up somewhere, nothing is worse than what's going on in here, bro. See a G, thank you from a YouTube member. Like Jimmy Beast, Mr. Beast, Jimmy Beast. There ain't nothing you could do. At one of those locked in challenges. That's what I'm talking about. I couldn't do where he's like, oh, we're doing the Squid Game. I'd lose that shit, bro. Come on. Do you think you could do Fear Factor? No. No, I couldn't eat the disgusting stuff. No. Don't you know what's out there in the woods? You're locked in here with me, Jimmy Mr. Beast. Oh, I can win those if you laugh, you lose challenges. I'm telling you, this might be a bit of an asshole thing for me to say, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it. It might be a bit of an asshole thing for me to say. You know those Smosh spit take laugh videos where they're like, we're gonna make the person laugh and see if they spit out water. I've never once seen somebody say something funny on that show. Sorry. If you like Smosh, good. I'm happy for you. And I've seen every single person on that be funny in other things, in other shows and whatever. I've never found a single joke on that show funny. I've tried. I'm always like, this is not funny. Why are you spitting out water? It comes more from like, I'm assuming like being there, like it's a little different, but like, having to be near Joe Rogan would be the worst part of Fear Factor. Is crazy. I don't know if it's just me. I don't find it funny. I've tried over and over and over again, dude. I'm like, maybe I'm missing something about this show. But no bit from that show has made me laugh. No single joke from that show has made me chuckle. I don't think Smosh isn't funny. I think that show isn't funny. Again, Shane Top, is that his name? He's made me laugh in other stuff they've done. Oh, the call lines are not closed. They've been open this whole time. My B. I don't know. Most try not to laugh videos are not funny. We should do another one where you guys send me try not to laugh videos. They need to be under 30 seconds. I'll put a form together. Under 30 seconds. And see if chat can make me laugh. I don't think you guys can do it. Why is the right not hiding their racism anymore? Because their racism is now getting them elected into office, so they don't need to. There are certain videos that always make me laugh. I hate to be that guy, but videos of like kids falling, I laugh every time. Trump is the best president in history. That's a stupid thing to say. I'll start going downhill with AFV. Yeah. I'm glad shows like America's Funniest Home Videos aren't really that much of a thing anymore. What kind of humor do you like? 9/11 jokes. Who out there could love you more than I? What out there that I could not supply? Ugh. If anyone's mad at 9/11 jokes, don't crash out. That's crazy. Aw, Justin, are you twiggered? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you twiggered, Justin. If you dat twiggered. Aw, does comedy make you upset? Aw, Justin. That's so sad. It's so sad that you're so twiggered. Who would have known that you're so twiggered? Aw. Aw. So there's somebody in the chat, Generation X with AMC and GameStop, stupid as fuck name, but they're like, Democrats keeping slavery alive with cheap Mexican labor, not really realizing that 50 to 75% of laborers who are undocumented work using ITIN numbers or are paid over the table. It's this fucking myth that they're constantly being exploited when the bulk of them are given working numbers so they can work legally and pay taxes here. That's why we generate over $100 billion in taxes from undocumented migrants. But you wouldn't know that, I'm sure, because I'm sure you've never actually looked it up. I'm sure you're just like spouting nonsense in the chat because that's what you guys do. I'm sure. Yeah. Fortunately, I do look it up. We try to pay people their fair wages. Hate to break it to you. And look, now he's because he's realized, oh shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. Now he's like, shit, I have to talk about something else. So now he brings up the cat ears. It happens every time. It happens every time. Every single time. When they are presented with new information, the game we always like to play is, are they going to learn and admit they were wrong, or are they going to double down? They always double down. Because admitting you're wrong to them is seen as a weakness, not a strength. Why do cat ears trigger so many fragile maggots? Because they wish they could wear them, but they're too locked into their masculinity to do it. Look, see him now, he's doubling down with slurs. And the reason he's doubling down with slurs is because he knows that the slurs will get him rightfully kicked from the chat. Thank you, Aki. And now he has plausible deniability. He goes, well, I tried to talk and they just wanted to boot me. Even though it's in like almost every space online, like, you know, slurs will get you booted from the chat. Still a net loss. It's actually not a net loss. We actually took more in from taxes than they used in the system. It's actually a net positive. They're still getting exploited. I agree. I would disagree that they're being used as slave labor, but I would agree they're still getting exploited. That's why I think they should be given a path to citizenship. So that way these and that's why I think we should be going after the employers, not the employees. Kind of seems weird that we're saying they're exploited, but we're going to punish them for being exploited. Not the people doing the exploiting. Most workers, including Americans, are exploited. Well, every worker under capitalism is being exploited. Why don't they just call in? Because then they'd have to actually contend with the fact that they don't have an argument. You guys know this? Bring blue guy back. No. No, I don't want to. Maga loves every aspect of socialism aside the name. True. Ew, a communist. Ew, a little piece of shit. What does that little girl say? When he's like, you're a child and you're a crusty ass bitch. What does she say in that video? Oh, an ugly, pimply bitch. Is that what she says? That shit's so funny. We need less migrants and more Americanism. Such a dumb take. America is quite literally a country built on migration. So it's always stupid to me when Americans are like, in order to be American, we need to focus on us. No more migrants. It's such a dumb thing to say. There wouldn't be an America without migrants. Was ICE anti-American when Obama used them to deport 3 million immigrants? Are you ready for this, dog? Are you ready? Yes. Fuck Obama. God damn, you guys have to fucking both sides, everything. Fuck them both. Jesus Christ, dude. I didn't like when Obama did it. I don't like when Trump does it. I didn't like when Biden did it. But y'all are so fucking on party lines that you can't fucking see through the shit. God damn, it's so stupid. Ready for this? Obama's a fucking war criminal. Throw his ass in jail. That's what I think about Obama. Fucking Christ, dog. America was built by settlers, not migrants. It's the same goddamn thing, bro. Settlers and migrants are synonymous. Just hate to break it to you. It's the same fucking thing. Sorry, it's not the same thing. Settlers are bad. Immigrants are good. So let me actually change that. Because you know what the settlers came here and did? They settled land that was owned by other people. Jovan, how did you become so smart? I ate my Special K cereal growing up. I ate Special K every morning for three years. You guys want to know how to get as smart as me? Every morning, do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10 kilometer run, and then you'll do it. If anyone gets that reference, W to you. I don't give a shit if you come to a country illegally. I actually don't care. I used to. I don't give a shit anymore. The settlers were literally so dumb they would have starved to death without native assistance. They took advantage of their generosity. Well, yeah, because, to be a settler. Following the law versus not following the law. Nobody follows the law 100% of the time. So what do I give a fuck? I break the law all the time. What do I fucking care? You know how often I speed? You know how much I drive above the speed limit? I don't give a shit. All the Trumpers are scared today. They have to be. Do you care if people come into your house uninvited? There's a fucking difference between a house and a country, and it's such a dumb analogy people use. There is no... It's a disanalogous. No one person owns a country, and they shouldn't. No one... Borders are made up, dog. Borders aren't real. Like, what? No, but it's true. The same people that are like, they need to follow the law are the same people that voted in somebody with 34 felony counts. They don't give a fuck about law and order. They don't care about following the law. Do not ever let them tell you they give a shit about law. Don't ever let them do that, because they don't. They don't give two fucks about the law. It is not something they actually care about. Borders aren't real, then countries aren't real. Now you're getting it. They're social constructs, right? They're stuff we made up. Having countries is stupid. Countries are dumb. I'm a human being that lives on a planet. I should be able to go on that planet wherever the fuck I please. And human rights are a construct. I agree. Human rights don't actually exist in the like physical world. They are abstract, much like fucking borders. They don't exist in the physical. One of these, by the way, leads to positives and one leads to negatives. I think borders lead to nothing but war. No, I disagree with private property. I think you can have personal property. I have no problem with personal property. Private property, I would be in disagreement with. Then go to North Korea talking stupid shit. Eddie, nut up or shut up, bro. Fuck, you're all such cowards, dude. Nut up or shut up, dog. The call-in line's right there. Go to North Korea is such a dumb fucking response. Shit, I was muted. Sorry. Somebody said, "What's the difference between personal and private property?" Good question. Here's the answer. Personal property is basically anything you use in your personal daily life. Private property is anything used in the creation of goods or services, so it would be part of the means of production. Typically, private property is going to be categorized as land, labor, capital, and technology. That's going to be private property. I'm against private property being able to be owned by individuals. I think those four qualifiers of things, land, labor, capital, and technology, should all be collectively owned by the people. I think that's the only way to like structure a society in any sort of ethical way. You think I should add back the Christian God is evil? It's a good topic. I love talking about it. It's just chat. You seem to hate when I go theist. I like having theism debates. I use my house every day. Yes, your house would be personal property. Because it's a home you use to live. Congrats, you're a communist. Yes. Oh, wait, where did it go? Yes. Sure am. How do we stop undue influence in workplace and state democracy? What do you mean by undue influence? Like, what specifically are you talking about? I love your show, but I also love God. Okay. I don't, but that's fine. I use the land around my house every day, sometimes to generate money. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. But you wouldn't have any need to do that in a system in which there is no private property. Money becomes functionally useless. But yeah, you don't own the land. Typically, you're not like the average American. Some people might. Typically, the average American doesn't own the land that they live on. You might own your house. You might even have sold off your house or paid off your house. But typically, the land that you're living on is not owned by you. It's owned by the bank. If you have a mortgage, you don't own your home. I just want to throw that out there. You do not own your house. So you don't even have that as personal property. The bank owns your house. How do you govern a people without countries to identify them with? Let them govern themselves? What do I need countries to identify? Countries don't do anything. And they give people this real this false sense of like nationalism. Like I should feel proud because I just happened to be born in America. Like I didn't choose that. It's just weird to me. How would you do this job in your form of society? Well, I wouldn't have a need to do this job. So I'd probably do something else. This job probably would become functionally obsolete. But if it's entertainment and people like it and the community is like, well, a lot of people seem to like this piece of entertainment, we're going to continue to support, we're going to continue to support you doing that entertainment. Jesus died for your sins. Good for him. I didn't ask him to. But also, no, he didn't. I'm actually going to start in these theism debates. Jesus didn't die for my sins. Jesus died because the Romans were mad he was calling himself a king. Had the Romans not been mad that Jesus was calling him a king, he wouldn't have died. They did not crucify him for any religious nonsense. So no, Jesus didn't fucking die for my sins. This is what college is doing to our children. Okay, great. I understand you can't critically think. Thank you for proving the title of the stream. This job is a social construct. All jobs are social construct. Thoughts on Marx being a racist? I don't have any about it. Whoopee, I guess. Plenty of people were racist and were correct about things. I don't worship the ground Marx walked on. I just recognize that I liked his position when it comes to like economics and philosophy. I think dialectical materialism is a pretty good way to like view the world. But also remember, kids, if you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing. Have you read the Bible? Many times. There's no title on here, you idiot. You're stupid. But it's okay. Being dumb is just comes second nature to Maga, right? You read the responses easiest to respond to. This guy only lives for emotional responses and positions. Critical thinking is void on this side. So call in, you fucking joke. Pick up a phone, dial the number, and call in, you pussy. Like, what the fuck, bro? I will talk to anyone that calls in, unless you're Ryan, because I don't feel like talking to Ryan. So just pick up the fucking phone, dickweed. Stop being a fucking baby. Jesus Christ. Go back to grade school. Yet his views on economics have been the downfall of many countries. This isn't true. I hate to break it to you. Stop being fat. No, I like food and I don't like working out. You might want to live your life in a way that like you don't like, but I like living my life the way I live. I don't give a fuck. I'm alt-right. Yeah, because you're stupid. Got it. Great. Glad we know. Well, at least I can spell. You can't. Look, he just did it again. Did you see how he acts? Yeah, like this, you fucking pussy. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care. Like, y'all can lick the left side of my nuts if you think I give a fuck about that type of shit. You know what people can do if they don't like the way I act on stream? Watch. I'm gonna do a dramatic interpretation of what you can do. Let's say you're watching my stream. Okay, here's a dramatic interpretation. Let's pretend I just called somebody a pussy and you don't like it. Okay, this is what you can do. Should I show you again? Wait, let me show you again. Hold on. Just in case it was difficult, let me show you again. Oh my God, did you see that? Should I, one more time? One more time, because I think it might not have. I think it might not have clicked in. Let me show you one more time. Oh, okay. Fucking babies. God damn. Fucking babies. Pillow, are you having trouble with the call screening again? Because I show like multiple people in the queue. Okay, no, you're getting it. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to talk about stuff that's not on the board, so I do apologize to the person who's calling in. I don't really want to talk about settlers. It's not a topic on the board. I'm only taking calls that are on the board. So if you want to call back when I do plan, I don't know when it will be. I have to do an office hours at some point, but when I have my next office hours, you can call in and we can talk about settlers. It's just not something I want to talk about. Jovan isn't obese, then I'm not working hard enough. No one is ever going to take a man with cat ear headphones seriously. Good. Here's what I'm going to say. If you listen to what I say and the cat ears are the only thing you have to say it about any of the shit I say, that tells me one thing. Either A, you don't have the ability to listen, or B, you don't have the ability to think critically. It doesn't matter what the fuck someone wears. Right? To me, all I give a fuck about is the content of the argument. You could debate me wearing a tutu and alien eyes, and I wouldn't give a fuck. What's the content of the argument? So are gifted memberships tier 2? I don't know how gifted memberships work. I think you have to decide what tier you gift. Can you name one time when communism worked? Communism worked basically the entirety of indigenous society. They had no concept of private property. That's all communism is. Anytime somebody gives you the long definition of communism where they go, stateless, moneyless, classless society, that definition bores me. It puts me to sleep. The only definition that matters is what Engels said I think he said it in Socialism, Utopic, and Scientific. I think that's where he said it, which is just communism is the complete abolition of bourgeois private property. That's it. When we reach a state where private property has been abolished, that's communism. And most societies pre-communism had an abolition of private property. Or not abolition, because they didn't have the concept to begin with. So most indigenous tribes had no concept of private property. They didn't believe they owned the land. Right? They didn't believe that the land was theirs. They did believe that they did have conflict sometimes, depending on which tribes you're looking at. I oftentimes like to point to like the tribes in what is now California. Those tribes were primarily peaceful, and they worked with each other, especially once they became a little less nomadic, and they would allow other tribes into their area. They would allow other tribes to hunt or fish. But often the times where you had like contentions between stuff, it was just about like resource management. It was like, hey, there's not enough resources here for you to hunt and for us to hunt. It would be things like that. We don't have that issue anymore. We are in a post-scarcity world. We have hit post-scarcity. It's just capitalism keeps people convinced that we're still in a scarcity world. We're not. We're post. Does Jovan play D&D? I have never gotten into it. I've tried. I feel like if I had like a really, really good DM, maybe. But yeah. So you believe in 100% no stock markets, private businesses. I don't see the need for businesses in the sense that you're thinking of businesses. When it comes to like a socialist or a communist society, yeah, Pillow, we're just sticking to the list today. I don't have communism on the list. I'm just talking about it because chat's talking about it, right? Like, let's say somebody has a business making shoes, and they make, I don't know, pick a shoe. They make Crocs. And we as a society go, well, hey, guys, we don't really have a need for Crocs anymore. Well, we're not going to keep funding that business. There's no need for it. But if we have another guy whose business is making belts or making boots. Let's say he's making work boots, and we're like, shit, we really need work boots. We're going to keep that factory afloat because it's something the society needs. I'm not worried about wants at the moment because the people's needs have not been met yet. Once we meet needs, we can figure out a post-need society, but we have to figure out a post-needs. We have to get to post-needs first, right? We need to get to the point of Star Trek where people aren't in need before we can really look at like, okay, well now how do we evaluate wants? I think most wants can be the same. I mean, listen, I don't mind it being the case where it's like, hey, we give you some work incentive that you can buy luxury items or goods with. I'm not necessarily against this. He just described a free market. No, I didn't. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. No, I didn't describe a free market. Because these aren't businesses. This isn't somebody propping up a business with their own personal capital. And a business that is not needed goes away. Free market isn't free. So true. Glam Pixie, so true. Free market's not free. But not understanding the difference is fucking horseshoe theory, probably. My parents own their own small business, so where would the ownership go? If the society still feels a need for that business, like let's say we'd make the change tomorrow. We would look at your parents' business. We'd say, is this a business that is needed in the community? If it is, most likely we're going to ask your parents to still run it because they have the experience. So we're going to be like, hey, can you still run this business? Like we probably wouldn't call it a business, but we'd say, hey, can you still run this? Like we have a need for this service. Can you still do it? I didn't describe supply and demand. There's a vast difference between this and supply and demand. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to take you guys on good faith. Supply and demand is different than what I described. Supply and demand happens post decision making, your decisions are made post market, whereas what I'm describing, decisions are made pre-market. Maybe that will help you guys understand a little differently. The government hands off private businesses then. It depends on how you're describing a government. There would be no centralized state government, but there would be like, people would be governing themselves. But it's not that the government is doing it, it's the people are doing it. Like the government becomes much more representative because, right, all your votes are sort of equaling out equally. So everyone now collectively owns this business, not just like your parents. So the way supply and demand works is you bring a product to market, you see how that product sells, and that will dictate sort of how it sells in the market, will dictate what else you sell, what you sell. We're not doing this. We're not taking anything to market. There's no exchange of money for goods and services like any of that. We're not doing that. We're saying, hey, we notice as a business that now he described communism. No shit, Sherlock. Fucking Christ, this dude is stupid. Fuck, bro. All right, let's take a call. I can't handle the dumb that is like a bunch of the people in chat right now. We're going to bring up Danny. Now, Danny... Oh, shit. What just happened? Hello? What's going on? Record. Hello? Oh, stopping record. Record. Okay, it's going. Anyway, we're going to bring up Danny. Danny said he's pro-ICE. Let's hear Danny try to defend a pro-ICE take. Danny, if you can hear me, can you provide me your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, I'm 27, and he, him, I believe. I'm not really too sure how these pronouns work, to be honest.
Oh, do you want me to I mean, I can tell you how they work.
Don't matter.
Yeah, it's just based on whatever your gender is. So if you're a man, you typically would use he, him pronouns. So you got it right in the first one.
Okay, yeah, he, him then. Yeah.
All right, Danny, you are pro-ICE. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you agree with all ICE has been doing and their methods and all of that?
For the most part, I do, yeah.
Okay, tell me why you're pro-ICE.
Well, initially, for ICE was formed after 9/11. So I believe that ICE enforcement not only is it pro-American just because of the fact that it's trying to secure our borders and make our country much safer, but also it's the number one, I want to say task force that deals with human sex trafficking. So I believe that's like not just pro-American, but also it goes beyond that. Like for different countries, for example, Mexico, since we're bordered.
So really quick, Danny, I want to just correct you on something there. The FBI is the main task force that handles human trafficking. Specifically, the biggest human trafficking, I'm pretty sure the biggest human trafficking division in the FBI is their child exploitation and human trafficking task forces. So it's not ICE. ICE handles immigration.
So, well, my question is then, why do you think it's anti-American?
Yeah, I think ICE violates a lot of American civil rights consistently, and when you're violating people's civil rights, I think that goes against what America is supposed to stand for, which is the protection of those civil rights.
Civil rights as in American citizen civil rights, or
The civil rights of
I don't understand.
anybody, citizen or not. I don't think you can just say
with
you
a criminal being in the U.S. and that criminal violating other people's rights, but
that doesn't mean that
can't
person
violate
doesn't.
that person's right.
Yeah, no, the state shouldn't be able to violate people's rights. No, yeah, whether they're a criminal or not. Yeah.
So it's okay for that criminal just to be free and violate.
So I think
rights.
you're doing a false dichotomy here. Not violating someone's rights doesn't mean that we wouldn't arrest a criminal, right? Yeah. But there's a difference between arresting a criminal and then violating people's rights.
What's the violation that ICE is committing when they're just arresting criminals?
Sure. How many U.S. citizens is ICE arrested?
How many U.S. citizens has ICE arrested?
Yep.
I don't know the number, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying they have not, but I can say that they.
What do you think? Over or under 50? What do you think?
I want to say over 50.
Yeah, it's about 170 and counting so far since this administration has taken over.
I mean, well, no system is perfect. They're obviously.
But hold on a second, Danny. Arresting U.S. citizens would be a violation of their rights, right? Especially when we looked at most of these U.S. citizens have had violence committed against them. So they've been assaulted by ICE officers. They've been detained for days. Hold on.
Yep.
They've been detained for days on unlike most of them are not charged with a crime. So ICE is arresting U.S. citizens, detaining them, sometimes for days at a time, and not charging them with any sort of crime. This is kidnapping. Would you agree?
Well, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would you say that our justice system is anti-American?
Yes. The way it works right now, yes, 100%. It violates people's rights all the time.
But I mean, no system is perfect. There's obviously going to be mistakes being made.
There's a difference between mistakes. Wait, one person, that's a mistake. 2 people, a mistake. 3 people even? Hell, 10 people.
Okay, but
mistake. 170 people? So, that's not a mistake. That's a pattern.
But you could also say things for I want to say people on death row. They've made mistakes, and there's been a lot of people that have been incarcerated that are innocent. So if you're saying that it's anti-American, that's not. It's just a mistake.
Yes, wait again.
It's not.
Again, I'm trying to parlay this to you, Dan. I'm trying to get this through to you. 170 people is not a mistake. It's a pattern.
I mean, out of how many though?
I don't care out of how many.
3 million. I mean,
what do I?
Small percentage.
Wait, how many? Okay, so hold on, Danny. So answer me this question: what percentage is okay? What percentage of rights violations is okay? if you think it's getting rid of the people in the country you don't want to be in the country anymore? How many U.S. citizens is it okay to force to suffer?
See, the way you're asking the question. Obviously, if I say otherwise,
You
like
told me that mistakes are
violence-
unavoidable, and you're sitting here justifying those mistakes and saying that. Hold on, Danny. Danny, hold on, Danny.
Okay.
Danny.
Okay.
You are sitting here and telling me that the ends justify the means. So I'm asking you to put your money where your mouth is. If the ends justify the means, how many violations is okay?
Yeah. So I guess I get what you're saying, and you're right. You are definitely right. Not violating the right of anybody, and I understand that. But there's how can I put it? There's obviously going to be mistakes being made, and with that comes, I don't know how to put it. Like, for example, you drive a car, right? There's thousands of car accidents have led to people being killed, but we still drive cars today. You're not gonna ban cars from being driven.
Most car accidents are user error, so it's the fault of the people driving. Like the vast majority of car accidents are caused by the person driving the car.
But how do you control an open border? How do you control people who have committed? Obviously, there's going to be mistakes, and obviously, there's going to be U.S. citizens that are going to go to jail temporarily. But how do you control? How do you keep a country safe?
ICE isn't keeping the country safe. Wait, hold on. Wait, Danny. Okay. ICE isn't keeping the country safe. There has been no significant change because there's been no significant change in crime rates associated with ICE detaining. There's been no significant association between those things. So how are they keeping us safe? They're not affecting the crime rate.
Do you believe that someone crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
I believe it's a civil offense. Yeah.
But is it a crime?
It's a civil offense.
So it's a crime.
Yeah, it's a civil offense, yes.
Exactly. So what's the consequence to that?
Typically
what
a fine.
You do about that?
It's typically a fine.
Do you agree that just a fine?
That's typically what happens when, has been. That's been the...
What do you tell people? What do you tell people from all around the world who actually want to come here illegally? How do you
wait? This to me is such a lazy argument. Danny, that's a lazy argument. I would understand it.
Why?
If I would understand this argument if like Donald Trump was ramping up ICE enforcement while also making it easier for legal immigration to happen. Then you have a leg to stand on in this argument. But he's not. He's actually making it harder for legal immigration. Hold on, Danny. He's making it harder for legal immigration to happen. He's made it harder to sponsor family members. He's made it harder for work places to sponsor people. He in his first term, he limited the amount of visas and green cards handed out by the government by 12 million. So it's such a lazy argument. Hey, but how do you expect the legal immigrants to come in? I don't know. Have them Donald Trump stop blocking them from coming in.
Yeah.
Why do you think people come in illegally? It's because it's hard to come in legally. Yeah. It is hard to get in through the proper channels, so they don't go through that.
People who are actually waiting, who don't have the commodity just to jump the border.
Again, this is a nothing burger of an argument.
No, I know.
This is nothing. This argument is nothing.
Can you just? All right, let's just say. But can you at least answer it?
No. Why? No. There's no reason to answer it because you're presenting a framework that doesn't exist, Danny.
It does exist.
No, it doesn't.
People are literally waiting right now to more than 15 years.
Yes. So tell Donald Trump to make it easier for them.
So how do you tell someone, hey, you know what? You're okay to come here just because you hopped the border, but that person...
Danny, I think both of them should be allowed to come here, Danny. I think that the people who are here illegally should be granted a pathway to citizenship, especially if they have no criminal history. And I think the people who are waiting should be given an easier pathway to citizenship. Again, you're presenting an argument here where you're just punching air.
Okay,
you're not tackling any of the claims that I've made or attacking any of the positions that I hold. You're punching fictional arguments.
I just don't understand how that's what you're saying is how you think of that. Like, how has that process in your mind? Because
How I have
a
what
lot
process
of
in my
people
mind that people
have
should be allowed to live
a
here?
lot of we have laws for a reason. We have borders for a reason. Every country has a border.
Okay,
You know.
laws aren't
So
inherently logical, right? You recognize this, right?
okay, so why do people come to the U.S.? What for? What's the reason?
I mean, a lot of people who are coming up here from the southern border are coming because we destabilized their country. So their countries are falling apart economically due to U.S.
Okay, but
destabilization.
there's like,
So
okay, for example, people from Central America. I'm Central American. You know, my family's from Central America.
yeah, we
Central
destabilized
America.
a fuck ton of countries in Central America
Okay, why not go to a different country?
because
Why
we are
you? Why the U.S.?
because we're closer.
No, they go
Yes,
to for example, they could go to South America. They go to Costa Rica.
we
They go
destabilized
to
the
El
shit out of South
Salvador.
America. We destabilized the shit out of Costa Rica.
Well, why
We
not Canada?
because they have to cross here to get to Canada anyway, so it's easier to
No,
just
but
stay
why
here.
the U.S.? What makes the U.S.
We're closer to them than Canada is,
pinpoint
Danny. We're closer,
okay,
and we
do you-
have
do you agree
a
that-
semi-stable
that-
economy. So they know that they can come here, and at least our economy is
you agree
semi-stable
that-
because we didn't decentralize, we didn't destabilize ourselves. Well, we kind of did, but that's a different story.
Well, do you agree that America takes in the majority of immigrants around the world each year?
Oh, what is?
More than
Yeah,
every
sure.
other
Yeah.
country.
What do I? Who cares though? What is this argument? So? Are we
yeah,
not
so
bigger than most? Wait, can you agree that America is
yeah,
bigger
but
than most
you're
other
just
other
saying-
countries, Danny?
yeah.
Does America
But
have
you're
more
saying
land?
that the only
Danny,
reason why-
Danny,
the only
does
reason why people come here is
Danny,
because-
fucking Christ, bro.
Yeah,
Is
let me
America
speak.
bigger than most other countries, Danny?
That makes no sense because
It doesn't make
example,
sense why
you
we
got-
take in more people when we have more land mass.
No, can you let
Fuck,
me
bro.
answer? Can
Ain't
you let
no
me
way.
speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm saying, I'm giving you I'm asking you why America, and you're saying because it's closer.
Because we're closer to these countries.
Okay,
And
so-
because we have a you're only listening to two words that come out of my mouth and then your brain shuts off. I've said we're closer to them geographically. We have a larger land mass and we have a functionally stable economy at the moment. Whereas we destroyed their economies. So yeah, they're going to go to a place that has an economy that's actually functioning.
Okay, but why is it that okay? So kind of got off topic a little bit, but I just believe that why not stay in your country and fight?
Because we
or make it
destabilized
better?
them. Somebody from Costa Rica is going to have a hard time when the U.S. came in and fucked up Costa Rica's economy. Somebody in Belize is going to have a hard time when the U.S. came in and fucked up Belize's economy. Somebody in Honduras is going to have a hard time when the U.S. came in and fucked up the Honduran economy. Somebody in fucking Nicaragua is going to have a hard time when the U.S. came in and
But what
fucked up
about
their
Salvador?
economy. What about what?
El Salvador.
El Salvador also we fucked like El Salvador we fully fucking interfered in. Can you? I don't think there's a single
And
Central and
what's up
Latin
with it
American
now,
country that we didn't fucking destabilize and or intervene in.
So
Like,
okay,
what?
but what is it now? How is it now? How
El
is Salvador now?
Salvador's economy is not the greatest at the moment. But El Salvador is working with us on this. It makes sense not to go to El Salvador. We're paying El Salvador to build we built a mega prison in El Salvador, and we pay them to house our immigrants because we like concentration camps. So you're telling people, hey guys, let me ask you a question. Should illegal immigrants be sent to concentration camps?
Illegal?
Yeah.
Just depending on their
Depends?
Yeah, depending on their crime.
If they should go to a
lot of these people who
concentration
flee their
camp?
countries aren't. Let me ask you. Oh, concentration? No. Of
Okay,
course
that's
not.
where we're sending them. CCOT. Do you know what CCOT is?
That's not a concentration camp, man. The El
What's
Salvador prisons are
CCOT is absolutely a concentration camp.
okay. Well, how is it a concentration camp? Because from what I've seen,
Well,
is that
it's a camp
They give
that
them
concentrates
jobs.
people in.
They're working.
No, not at CCOT. They're not.
So,
Not at CCOT. They aren't.
in El Salvador.
CCOT, yes. They're not getting jobs and walking out of CCOT. That's not happening.
So, for example, someone that is a illegal immigrant that gets deported that has murdered 3 people should have they have the right to just.
I don't think they
just
should go to a
understand how that logic
concentration
works.
camp, Danny.
It's not a how are there concentration camps there? It makes no sense.
They're taking a large group of people. They're concentrating them into camps.
And doing what with them?
They're doing a lot of different shit. Have you seen the pictures out of CCOT?
Like what? Well, can you give me one example of what they're doing?
Sure. Multiple inmates at CCOT have alleged mistreatment, from violent beatings to rape by prison guards to forced labor. Like, which one do you want to dive into? How much time do you have?
See, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that.
Why not?
The reason why I say that, well, for the most part, El Salvador is a Christian nation, so I just don't believe that their leaders would be.
Germany was a Christian nation when they did the Holocaust.
Germany was not a Christian nation.
What was written on the belt buckles of what was written on the belt buckle of every single Nazi soldier?
Okay.
You tell me.
Let me give you a.
Nope. Answer the question.
Let me answer that.
Yeah, answer the question directly. Go ahead.
Just because you claim to be Christian doesn't mean you're a Christian.
What was written? No. You just said the reason why El Salvador is not doing this is because they say they're Christian, so they couldn't be doing this.
No, they're a Christian nation. Like, their leaders are actually Christian.
Danny, is stupidity, does it run in your family, or is it did you just get that trait?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's funny. I think it's just me.
Was American a Christian nation when we had Japanese internment camps? Were we Christian too?
Yeah, but you could claim to be Christian, but you're not.
So we weren't a Christian nation
then.
That,
you're not a Christian.
So we weren't Christian then.
For the majority part, yes.
So you're just doing a massive circle, Danny. You're saying El Salvador. I'm saying El Salvador. El Salvador has credible. Danny, stop. Danny, stop.
Yeah.
El Salvador.
Danny,
no. Danny, no. I'm going to mute you because it's not your turn to talk right now. Okay? So you need to. If I'm talking, you need to not talk. Sorry. My name is on the show. Sorry. So El Salvador has credible claims, especially ones coming from Human Rights Watch, about the conditions in their prisons. You're saying those claims are not credible. And when I'm asking you what your evidence is that those claims are not credible, you're saying because they're Christians. So because they're Christians, they couldn't be doing this. Now, I show you example of other people that say they're Christians who've done that and worse, and you say, well, they're not actually Christians. What if El Salvador is just not actually Christian, Danny?
I guess your logic makes sense. Yes, you're right.
Oh, no shit.
And I don't have evidence to prove you otherwise because I haven't really looked into it. But I guess I don't know what really goes on in those prisons. But I'm hoping, because I am Christian. I'm hoping that humanity is not the way, it's not. We don't go back to.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, I don't know, so I would have to look into it. But
here's what is being alleged by the Human Rights Watch, which is an independent organization that tracks human rights across the country. Their U.S. division has had this to say: people held in CCOT as well as in other prisons in El Salvador are denied communication with their relatives and lawyers, and only appear before courts in online hearings, often in groups of several hundred detainees at the same time. The Salvadorian government has described people held in CCOT as terrorists and has said that they will, quote, never leave. Human Rights Watch is not aware of any detainees who have been released from that prison. The only one so far has been Kilmar Grego Garcia. The government of El Salvador denies human rights groups access to its prison and has only allowed journalists and social media influencers to visit CCOT under highly controlled circumstances. In videos produced during these visits, Salvadoran authorities are seen saying that prisoners only leave their cell for 30 minutes a day, and that some are held in solitary confinement cells which are completely dark. While CCOT is likely to have modern technology and infrastructure that other prisons in El Salvador more than other, I understand the mistreatment of detainees there to be in large part similar to what Human Rights Watch has documented in other prisons in El Salvador, including Izalco, La Esperanza, and Santa Ana prisons. This includes cases of torture, ill treatment, incommunicado detention, severe violations of due process, and inhumane conditions such as lack of access to adequate health care and food. And you're okay
Would you say
with Donald Trump's
well, would you say that
administration
they're-
arresting and
no,
sending
well,
people there?
Would you say that El Salvador is right now? Would you say that that country is a lot safer?
What?
Would you say that El Salvador right now as a country is a lot safer?
I don't know and I don't care. I don't sacrifice human rights for safety. That's Nazi shit.
So you're okay with what do you mean? Because before it, I want to say more
Because the crime rate in Germany
5 years
drastically
ago.
dropped when the Nazis took over and were just taking people and throwing them into camps. Right? The crime rates of places that have authoritarian rule tend to drop. That doesn't mean that it's a good thing because authoritarians took over. Do you think, let me ask you a question. If I said in the United States, hey, we can drop gun violence to almost nothing if we get rid of every single gun. So we get rid of every gun and then gun violence goes away. Do you think it was worth it? Would you be okay with it?
If you're saying that if we got rid of all the guns, all the gun violence would go away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about violence in general, or
Nope, just the gun violence. Are you okay with getting rid of guns? With us forcibly doing it, like a government coming in, forcibly taking your guns away, if it meant no gun violence?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so then you don't actually give a shit if the violence goes away if someone's violating people's rights. So that was a stupid,
Why?
Why? Are you asking me to explain what we just went through just now? Are you asking me to walk you through this?
So I just don't
There's no
understand
way.
how you think a crime-ridden society.
There's
is
no way.
better.
There's no way. Are you asking me to
I just don't
walk you
understand how
through
think
the
a crime-ridden
exercise we
society
just
is
did?
better.
Do I need to walk you through the exercise we
You're
just
okay
did?
with a murderer being free, but not a innocent.
No, you're not. See, here's what you're doing again. You're giving a false dichotomy, right? You're straw manning my position. My position is not people who are criminals should be on the streets. My position is we shouldn't torture people in prisons. My position is
Yeah,
prison.
I don't believe we should
Except
torture people
here you
because
are
I don't believe that.
justifying the torture in an El Salvador prison where Donald
No,
Trump
I'm
is
not
sending
justifying
people.
it. I just
Yes, you
told
are.
you that
You
I
have
don't
been
know what's
justifying
going
this
on.
whole time. When
literally
you
just
said the
said I
phrase,
don't know what's
Danny,
going on in there.
Danny, when you say the phrase, but is their crime rate lower? That's justifying it, you absolute joke of a human being. Go have fun somewhere else, but you're not going to do it here. I'm going to move on. Thanks for calling. It was not a pleasure. Shout out to Ashley for paying to move on from that fucko conversation. And also shout out to Amanda. Amanda, thank you so much for the Venmo. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's a direct justification, you moron. But is it safer? Someone in YouTube chat said, I don't know if Jovan knows this, but prisoners don't have rights. Yes, they do. Stupid. Some of their rights have been stripped, like their rights to like freedom of movement, but they still have rights. Otherwise, we could do anything we want to prisoners, and we can't. Paul, thank you for the super chat. Many of the callers aren't having the same debate you are, Jovan. Example, trans in the toilets. You picture a woman, they picture Matt Walsh in a dress, so they literally need the basic facts established first. That's why I tend to not talk about the bathroom stuff until after we've talked about our trans women. More ad hominems. You guys don't know what the fucking ad hominem is. An ad hom is when I insult you instead of addressing your claim and addressing your arguments. I addressed all of Danny's arguments, and then I insulted him. I'm just insulting him. I'm not ad homing him because I addressed every argument he presented. There's a difference. Learn the difference. It's okay to insult somebody, right? I don't give a fuck if a caller comes up here. If I make an argument and a caller deconstructs it and then says, and you're ugly, Jovan, I'd be like, okay. I don't really care about the ugly part. Let's talk about the argument part. You never truly address claims. Tell me one claim of his I did not address. Tell me one argument of his I did not address in that call. I'll wait. All I want to hear right now from YouTube, tell me one of his arguments I didn't address. Go ahead. Be specific. Would love it. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Yes, it is wrong that prisoners don't have rights. They lose rights, and they are wards of the state, but that doesn't mean they don't have rights, right? Like, children who are in foster care are wards of the state. They still have rights. You didn't address your better looks. True. You merely addressed every claim with lies. Show me one lie. Show me one thing I said that was a lie. Fact check me right here, right now. You guys could fact check me. You could call in with a fact check and be like, look at how you're wrong, guy. Look how you're wrong, Jovan. I'm waiting. No, the Nazis did most of the Nazis were Christians. That's why on their belt buckle they had "Gott mit uns," specifically God is with us or something like that. Most Nazis were Christians. Hitler wasn't, to my knowledge. Hitler was not, but most Nazis were Christians, and acted so because they thought that they had a God-given right to. Freedom for safety. Freedom for safety, what? I addressed that claim. Those prisoners are not in the United States. No, they're just being held in El Salvador because, first of all, the El Salvadorian vice president literally admitted that the reason they hold people like they do in CCOT is because our government is paying them. He's openly said that. So, yeah, it does matter. Hate to break it to you. Yeah, it's hard because Hitler also was not an atheist. So this is another thing. Hitler was not an atheist. So he definitely had religious beliefs. It's just about like what religion specifically Hitler was. Hitler said specifically that atheism is Jewish Bolshevism. Like he thought atheism was like one of the worst things a person could be. I'm going to play Ninja Gaiden 4 now. Oh, I'm agreeing with you. Okay. It's hard to know sometimes. You guys got to add context to your comments. All right, let's bring in the next person. Next up on the show, we have Ibram. Ibram does not think MAGA is a fascist movement. We're going to find out why. Ibram, can you tell me your age and pronouns, please?
It's Ibram, and I am 35 and a he, him.
Okay, Ibram, you don't think MAGA is fascist. Before we get into it, actually, no, that's fine. Why don't you think MAGA is a fascist movement?
Because it's not. Why?
Okay.
How can they be fascist when they're
why?
When they're literally doing the Jews' bidding? How are they fascist?
You know that fascism doesn't have anything to do with Jewish people, right? You're thinking of thinking of Nazism. I'm not talking about Nazism. I'm talking about fascism. Jewish states can also be fascist. I think Israel is also a fascist state. They're Jewish. So I don't know if you want to try this again. Let's reset. Hold on, we'll reset. We'll rewind and reset. And I'll ask you the question again. Why don't you think MAGA is a fascist movement?
Because they're really not doing anything fascist.
Okay, can you tell me can you define fascism for me? Like, what do you think fascism is?
The control of production
No.
by the state.
No.
Okay. I mean, if you want to educate me on it, go ahead.
Sure. So fascism is an ultra-right, ultra-nationalistic, authoritarian government style in which power is centralized into either one section of state government or centralized into like one person. I believe MAGA is engaging in this in multiple levels. I would also say that MAGA is meeting all 14 characteristics of fascism as labeled by Umberto Eco. I would even say they're meeting all of the 14 ones labeled by Lawrence Britt, both of whom are like experts in fascism and have studied fascism like intently. So this is why I would say MAGA is a fascist movement.
So they're basically very authoritarian, but yet we have committees upon committees and on states that are doing everything to destroy America.
Yeah, so I don't know if you only listened to like half of what I said. When it comes to authoritarianism, it's about centralizing power, and MAGA is absolutely centralizing power. Donald Trump is trying to centralize as much power into the executive branch as he physically can get. This is why we had the Supreme Court decision about whether or not presidents had immunity. He pushed for that, especially with his Supreme Court picks. Would be an example of him centralizing power, is also him stealing 2 Supreme Court picks from the Democrats. That would be an example of him centralizing power. Ignoring court orders is an example of centralizing power. Stopping the ability for courts to do injunctions is an example of centralizing power. I could go on and on and on and on and on.
I mean, I personally don't see it being fascist. I think our government is completely controlled and occupied by Israel, and it's been a long time, for like probably since the 1900s.
That means nothing to it not being fascist. It just seems like you want to spout anti-Israel talking points, which is fine. I don't like Israel, but like, are you going to engage in any of the stuff that I said?
I don't like any non-whites either. I think you all should be removed from this country.
Wow, that was riveting. Do you want to actually have the debate or no?
Yeah, I'll have a debate. That's why you all should be removed.
Okay, so are you going to address riveting? You are peak internet. Can you address any of the things I've said so far? Are you incapable of doing that?
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong because
Great.
I don't see some sort of...
Address what I said. Address what I actually said. No, address the actual points I made. It's real simple. Address the actual points I made. You waited 44 minutes to be on the call here. If all you did was wait 44 minutes so you could spout whatever you want to spout, great. I'll just move on. If you want to have the actual debate, I gave you a list of things. Address that list.
I mean, if
are you happy that a black person is smarter than you?
Had all non-whites removed.
Are you happy that
Are
you happy that a black person is smarter than you, Ibram? Does that make you happy that you're being outsmarted by a black?
Just because you put a monkey in a suit doesn't mean he's smart.
Really? So address the shit.
Address
the shit the monkey said. Then stop being a pussy and address the shit I actually said to you.
Well, how about you stop being a pussy and you address who started the civil rights?
Wow, has literally nothing to do with what we were talking about. Either address the points I made,
or talk about that.
Yes, because you're a pussy, Ibram. Because what happened, Ibram?
No,
here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell your fucking pussy ass shit. You're muted. I hate to say it's my show with your pussy ass shit, Ibram. You came onto the show thinking you could intellectually dominate. Oh, little black. I can intellectually dominate this widow old black. You can't. You're a fucking joke. You don't know who Umberto Eco is. You don't know who Lawrence Britt is. You don't know how to define fascism. You don't know any of this shit. You're so steeped in your fucking dumb acidness that you can't even handle the goddamn conversation. I don't mind if you want to be up here spewing fucking bullshit. Go ahead and spew bullshit, Mike G. Spew the Nazi-ass rhetoric. I don't give a fuck. What I give a fuck about is if you can engage in the fucking conversation, which you can't. And I get it. Your brain has not developed past a fucking 3rd grade level. So when I say big fucking 3-syllable words, you crash the fuck out. Do me a favor. I told you that a part of fascism is the centralization of power. And I gave you examples of Donald Trump centralizing that power. Can you address any of those things? Or are you going to live in your fucking dumbassiness? Oh my God. Wow. You're muted again because that's not what I fucking asked you, stupid. Stupid as fuck. I asked you a simple question. The only thing I want to hear from you is the answer to that fucking question. So either A, address the centralization of power into the executive branch, or B, go home and fuck your sister. Those are your 2 fucking options. What are you going to do?
Well, considering that your race has more...
Okay, great. So you want to continue fucking your sister. I'm sorry, this ain't a family reunion. You ain't gonna fuck me. So the only options you had were answering what I said, which is the centralization of power into the executive branch, with clear examples that I gave you of centralizing power into the executive branch, or fucking your sister. And you chose fucking your sister. And I get it. I get it. Life has been so hard for you. You had all these advantages set up from you from the system because your little white ass couldn't fucking handle shit. And instead of seizing those advantages, you decided to live in a fucking trailer in the middle of goddamn nowhere. I don't give a fuck about that, Ibram. I don't give a shit. I don't care about your inferiority complex. I don't care about the fact that a black dude probably fucked your wife and you're pissed about it. I don't give a shit about any of that. I care about the fucking argument on the table. Now either address the argument or continue to look like a backward hick nobody gives a fuck about. So are you going to address the argument, yes or no?
Sure.
Yes or no?
Niggers have...
Oh, Ibram. Aw. Waited 44 minutes just so you could get mad at a black person for physically dominating you. Next time, I understand. You know, you are the type of person who pays black people to fuck your wife. I get it. It's okay. The cucking is fine. But you ain't gonna get the cucking here for free. I'm not gonna fuck you for free, Ibram. If you want to be fucked by a nigga, pay for it. I don't do the fucking here for free, my dude. So what I need you to do is address the argument. Because all you're proving to me today, Ibram, is the same shit that has been proven to me time and time and time and time and time again. Is that your people are fucking dumb. And I don't mean white people. I loves me a white. Okay? I got white family members, Ibram. I have white friends. When I say your people, I mean backward, inbred, cocksucking. In fact, no, cocksucking is too good for you, actually, Ibram. Cocksucking is too good for you. You don't deserve to suck cock. You are actually a full-on anus slicker because cock is too good for you. So either address the argument that I'm sure you forgot because your brain can't think further ahead than a housefly, or shut the fuck up. So are you going to address the argument, you fucking pussy? Yes or no?
Okay, so you mute to get your side in, right? Okay.
I muted you because you said the N-word, you fucking pussy. Address the argument, pussy. Stop being fucking scared. Stop being scared. Address the argument, pussy. Stop being scared. Address it. Waiting. Can you do it? You're not muted right now, so
Trump
do
was
it.
fascist, then why? Then why is everything against
stop
Trump?
asking the why.
Why do you
I
like
gave
Trump?
you a fucking list, you stupid. Address it. This isn't you addressing the argument, Ibram. This is you trying to worm your way out of it. Address the argument. I gave you an argument of the centralization of power. I get it. You forgot. I get it. You forgot. Ibram. Ibram, I love that you proving that black people are smarter than you right now. It's amazing. I love that you're proving that your IQ is on a fucking level of a fucking cow. I get it. I get it. This monkey is smarter than you. I hate to fucking break it to you. You don't know, again, who's Umberto Eco, Ibram? Who's Umberto Eco? You don't know. You haven't opened up a book. You don't read. This is the proof in the pudding. Americans, 60% of Americans can't read past the fucking 6th grade level. And Ibram, you are fucking proof of that. You are proof in the pudding. So either address the fucking argument, stop being a baby, go into the bathroom, change your diaper, and then fucking address the argument, you fucking pussy.
You niggers have no frontal lobe.
Exactly, Ibram. Exactly. You can't address it, Ibram. You're such a fucking joke.
No, I came
You're
on here
such
to tell
a
the world that
baby.
you guys are...
I don't give a fuck what you came on here to tell the world, G. Fun fact, I have the power of the goddamn mute button. I don't give a fuck what you came on here to tell the world. I don't give a shit about any of that fucking bullshit. You know what I give a shit about? The fucking argument, Ibram. 45 minutes you waited for this shit. Wow. The sadness that is your goddamn life. And I hate to break it to you, Ibram. I'm a good person. Otherwise, I would have told the entire chat what your fucking phone number is by this point. But I'm a good fucking person, unlike you. I give a shit about my fellow American. Not you, obviously. I don't give a shit what happens to you. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and I would think the world would be a better fucking place. But you, Ibram, are incapable, fully incapable of seeing past the shit in your body is so high up that your eyes are turning brown, my G. You can't fucking address an argument, and all you're doing is proving it to us. You're proving to us that you're a functional idiot. You are a word redacted. Because unlike you, I don't throw slurs out to fucking try to annoy people. Thank you for proving my point that MAGA is fucking actually functionally stupid. Thank you for proving my point that they're fascist, or at least in this case, Nazis. You have proven the point that they're fucking Nazis. So thank you. Anything else you want to say, or are you going to get still fucking pussy out of the conversation?
If they were Nazis...
You're still pussying out of the conversation, Ibram. You're still pussying out of the conversation. The only thing I want to fucking hear from you, besides thanking Trump for the fucking fellatio, the only thing I want to hear from you is an address of the argument of the centralizing of power into the executive branch. Can you fucking do it?
Your grotesque mockery of the human
your
form.
grotesque mockery of the human form. My dick is bigger than yours. I fucked more people than you have. I get pussy more than you do. I don't give a fuck about the human form, G. Take the fucking micro penis that you have, put it in a fan blade, and then maybe the human form will be corrected a little bit. Don't be mad because your wife wants to slobber on my knob more than she wants to slobber on yours. But unfortunately, I don't fuck cousins like some people. So either address the fucking argument, Ibram, or continue being a fucking pussy. What'll it be?
My dick.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Goodbye. Suck taint. And I hope that bad things happen to you, Ibram. Genuinely. Trigger warning. I apologize. Sometimes when I get into a mood like that and New York Jovan starts coming back out, he defaults back to the thing where like sucking dick is an insult. Sucking dick is not an insult. Sucking dick is a privilege that we all should be lucky enough to have one day. And if you suck dick, more power to you. No, I'm not going to drop his number. I am going to put him on the block list. Which is the primary reason why you have to call with a phone number, not a unlisted number. So if you do say some shit like that, I can block your number. But hey, if you post Crashout clarity, hey, if the shit that I have to go through, if you want to support the stream, now would be the best time. Just saying. Alex, thank you for the $7 Venmo for dealing with Ibram. Ian, thank you for the $25 Venmo addressing the argument. Monique, thank you for the $5 Venmo. So Jovan, that was hot. True. Amelia, thank you for the $40 Venmo for go the fuck off, King. Thank you guys so much. I don't like racists. I don't know if that was obvious to you or not, chat, but I don't like racists. And then let me read the super chats. Captain 75, thank you for the super chat. That caller has an embarrassment kink. Truly, I would have hung up immediately. I don't know why he stayed on the phone. He really must have liked it. Addy, thank you for the super chat. That was absolutely fire, Jovan. Thank you. Frost King, that guy thinks he's going to heaven. Yeah, right? That's crazy. Lightcliff said this child wouldn't step foot into Baltimore saying this nonsense. And of course not. Zach said, daily reminder, white nationalists lost every war they fought. True. So Jackson, I did not see that coming. True. Laura, thank you for the membership, and Christopher, thank you for the membership. Rogue, without a pause, said it's all about the mouthfeel. True. Armed Foe said that made my fucking morning, bud. Thank you for dealing with that bullshit. Thank you. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. William, thank you for the Cash App. Said dogs are better than cats. Debate me. No, because I agree. Rebecca, thank you for the Cash App as well. God damn, bro. Oh. Chris, thank you for the Venmo. Serving racists their shit sandwiches. Yeah, I just went into a fugue state during that one. Not gonna lie. Straight up, I went into a fugue state. Oh, God, bro. What a world we live in. He made so much off that guy, it's crazy. Let's make more. Hold on. Not to be that guy, but let's fucking piss him really off. You want to piss off a racist? Send me a black man money. Send me $5 for every N-word he called me. That video is gonna have to have a massive trigger warning, and YouTube is never gonna monetize that video. Gonna have a massive trigger warning on that one, my G. Okay, let's do we even have any other callers? Oh my God, another person is calling to tell me why Maga's not fascist. Okay, great. Great. Okay. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs over on Twitch. Thank you. Oh shit, we hit it. We got 80 on the YouTube super chats. Thank you guys. Oh boy. Okay. I'm definitely sharing your videos. This needs to be seen and heard by all. This live might be so good that I just let it go live after the stream. Yemye, thank you for the Cash App. L, thank you for the Ellie, thank you for the Cash App. Thank you guys. It was a crazy day, right? Oh shit, we got some more super chats. Thank you guys for the super chats. This is a crazy stream. Hold on. Let me see here. Flow Easy, thank you for the super chat. Said Najawan, sometimes you have to talk. Ish. Sometimes you gotta let these motherfuckers know we not for the games. True. Wilberg, thank you for the super chat. Double Goblin said, I don't think I got enough to cover all that man's bullshit, so here's what I can give. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat, friend. Otter Moniker, thank you for the super chat. Rogue without a pause. Ibram, yo, crazy. Miss Not Sucker, thank you. You know the even crazier part? Most Jewish people are white. I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about with that bullshit. Like, most Jewish people are white, my G. Sorry, massa. Sorry, they's white, massa. I don't know what's to tell you, massa. Jacob, thank you for the Cash App for pissing on the Klansmen. Oh my God, I love pissing on Klansmen's. Pause. Resume. Pause. Resume. Parallelish, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. Stankus Dank, thank you for the super chat. Average ICE applicant called in. Average ICE applicant is crazy. I'm going to really quickly label off the 14 points Umberto Eco labels as fascism. I'm not going to deep dive into it, but I'm going to label them so chat knows. Cult of tradition, rejection of modernism, the cult of action for action's sake, disagreement is treason, fear of difference, appeal to social frustration, the obsession with the plot, enemy is both strong and weak, pacifism is trafficking with the enemy, contempt for the weak, everybody is educated to become a hero, machismo and weaponry, selective populism, and your fascism speaks newspeak. That's Umberto Eco's list. I would also be fine with Lawrence Britt's list. They're different lists, but they have a lot of overlap. I think MAGA meets all of these, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Stay woke, stay woke. We're gonna bring up Steven. Steven also wants to tell me that MAGA is not fascist. We'll find out what Steven has to say. Steven, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
I am 38, he, him.
Okay, Steven, you don't believe MAGA is fascist. Can you tell me what you think fascism is and how MAGA does not meet the qualifications?
Well, I agree with you with the tenets of fascism. They would have to meet the criteria in a specific definition, correct?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay. So my disagreement with your argument that he meets the tenets of fascism is because you're conflating with the powers that are vested in the executive branch of the government, that you are conflating that with what the tenets of fascism are.
What do you mean by I'm conflating the powers of the executive branch with the tenets of fascism?
Well, for instance, when you cite that ICE is an example of fascism and that it is a moniker or a tool that fascists use, you're saying that Donald Trump created that new system and is fascist for using it.
No. Because I don't think ICE is in turn a tenet of fascism. I think the militarization and over-weaponization of ICE is partially what has become fascism, and the actions of ICE currently are what are fascist. I don't think that ICE in and of itself is fascist.
Can you tell me what specific militarization of ICE and how they're being used?
Yeah, Donald Trump increased the funding of ICE weaponry by 700%, even allowing ICE to now have access to guided missiles. I don't think ICE needs guided missiles.
Did Donald Trump or Congress do that?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump single-handedly increased the funding of ICE.
Not single-handedly, but yes, Donald Trump had a very large part to play in the increasing of ICE funding by 700%, yes.
So the funding that was increased by ICE actually came from Congress. It was $150 billion, and it was voted on in the Big Beautiful Bill.
I don't care. What is it being voted on have anything? Yeah, what is it being voted on have anything to do with anything? The only reason ICE has the money is because Trump asked for it. That's it. Trump asked for that money.
That's fine that he asked for that money. Congress didn't have to oblige. They chose to oblige.
Okay, so you think that it can't be fascism. You think it can't be authoritarian if Congress does it. So as long as Congress does it, it's not authoritarian.
Correct.
You don't actually believe that.
That would be the opposite of authoritarianism.
You don't actually believe that. I would say that Congress, especially the Republicans in Congress, are a part of the MAGA movement. So just because they're in Congress, that's still authoritarian. Increasing ICE's military
don't have a Congress.
Authoritarians typically don't have a Congress. Do you hear yourself right now?
That's the point of authoritarianism. A dictatorship doesn't.
Did Hitler have officers? Did Hitler have officers who made Did Hitler have officers who made decisions separate of Hitler?
Yes, but they were not a different branch of the government. It was all one centralized government.
Yeah, they're currently centralizing the power so that there can be one central government.
Can you give me examples?
Yeah, I gave multiple before. I'll give them again. Removing the ability for judges to hand down.
Power.
Nope. Hold on. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Removing the ability for judges to hand out federal injunctions is an example of centralizing power into the executive. So the executive no longer has to answer to the judicial branch. Giving the president qualified immunity for crimes that are done under his official capacity of presidency is another example of centralizing power. Am I boring you? Am I putting you to sleep?
No. I've just been really tired. I slept like shit last night. Excuse me.
Okay. Well, there are two examples of of partial centralization of power. Those are just two examples.
Okay. I'm going to address that. The Supreme Court decided on those. It was not the authoritarian Donald Trump who made that decision.
My claim is not that Donald Trump. Hold on. My claim.
Hold on.
Stephen, you're not addressing the claim I made. Sure, you can talk. It's going to be a nonsense. I'm just going to have to restate what I said. Go ahead. We're just wasting time.
Well, no. You're being unfair. Okay, you're not letting me make my argument. I let you speak, and I think it's fair that you let me speak.
Go ahead.
So, if it's a centralization of power by an authoritarian, okay, and that the movement itself is fascist, okay, bringing a case before a Supreme Court and making the argument, whatever. I forgot. I completely forgot the example you're saying that the federal courts can't rule on certain issues, and the Supreme Court decides and to rule in favor of Donald Trump. That is not authoritarian in nature.
Great. So, like I said, what your response was not going to address what I said at all. So I'm going to have to restate what I said, and hopefully you can address it this time. My claim is that Donald Trump is centralizing power into the executive. If the Supreme Court, who was primarily elected by Donald Trump, Donald Trump put in loyalists in the Supreme Court. He holds a conservative power in the Supreme Court, is what I mean by that. Not that like everybody in the Supreme Court was picked by Donald Trump. He only picked a couple people, but I mean the conservatives have a controlling power because Republicans stole 2 Supreme Court picks from the Democrats. Stole them, outright stole them.
They stole one.
They stole 2.
They stole one. The other
they
one
stole
they,
2.
They clotured through.
No, they stole 2.
There's a difference.
Nope, they stole 2 picks.
They stole one. They
stole 2
Obama's
picks.
Pick. I'm not arguing with you.
Yes, and then the next pick was stolen because the next pick should have gone. The reasoning for the taking of Obama's pick, and this is just us moving to another
and they walked that back. Okay.
That's stealing 2 picks. That's stealing 2 picks.
Stealing on the second
that is
one.
absolutely
you can make the argument that they stole the second
picks.
one under the pretense of the first one, but that's not what happened.
Yep, that is exactly what happened. So thank you for
stole one
thank you
Supreme
for
Court
describing. Thank you for describing
happened.
describing 2 examples of picks being stolen. Thank you for that. So as I said, a Supreme Court that is largely conservative and filled with Trump supporters and loyalists. You can look at fucking the way Lawrence Thomas has been engaging the Supreme Court and shit him and his wife have both said outside of their capacity of Supreme Court justices. They're absolutely loyalists in the Supreme Court to Donald Trump, removing the ability for judges to place national injunctions on executive orders, for example, is a direct example of power being centralized into the executive branch. Do you disagree? And if you disagree, why?
I disagree because their picks from an administration does not make them loyal. You have to demonstrate that for me.
That's not what I asked you about what you disagree with. Do you disagree that removing the ability for judges to place injunctions on executive orders is attempting to centralize power into the executive and remove a form of checks and balances from the judicial? Yes or no?
Well, you're not being specific, and this is why I keep going back.
I'm being extremely specific. What are you talking about?
No, you're not being specific because you're suggesting that it was Donald Trump who did this under some ghost in the wall, boogeyman under the bed conspiracy, that he put his loyalists who are only loyal
Answer me this question, Stephen. Answer me this question, Stephen. I'm going to let you know my fuse is short today, Stephen. My fuse is short today, Stephen. I'm going to mute you if you don't stop talking. My fuse is short today. It's going to run out. I'm going to ask you again. I'm just going to ask you a question. Take Donald Trump out of it and just take it from anybody doing this. Hypothetically, is removing the ability for courts to place injunctions on executive order, removing a piece of checks and balances that has existed in our government? Yes or no?
Is there any past precedent that you can cite of this happening before?
No.
Okay.
There has not been a past precedent where we have unilaterally said through the Supreme Court, you can't place injunctions.
I'm granting you the hypothetical, okay? I'm granting you the hypothetical, okay? Is that a process of an authoritarian government or a democratic government?
That's not the question. You've not answered the question that I've asked you, which is it removing a piece of checks and balances?
I'm just establishing
is it yes or no removing? I'm not giving you a premise. I'm not giving you a premise. I'm asking you a question. Is it an example of removing a form of checks and balances? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
So removing checks and balances is not an example of removing checks and balances. The courts no longer having the ability to place injunctions, and when a president decides to pass an executive order that is unconstitutional, courts now not being able to block that is not a removal of checks and balances.
No. It's a citation of the Constitution and how it applies.
It's not a citation of the Constitution.
Well, that's what the Supreme Court does. They rule if something is constitutional or within the boundaries of the law.
Supreme Court. Oh my God, dude. You believe that? Do you believe presidents should be able to pass executive orders that go against constitutionally protected rights?
Absolutely not. No.
How do we stop them from doing that? How do we stop them from doing that?
How do we stop a president from putting an executive order in place that would, well, first you would need a force mechanism to do that. Is there a force mechanism in place for that check and balance?
Just answer the question. I'm asking you.
Do the courts have a force mechanism?
I'm asking you how we should do that. What should we implement to do that?
Are we still in the boundaries of this hypothetical?
I'm just asking you the question. How would you do it? How ought we go about doing this?
How I would do it to rein in the power of the executive branch. That's what you're asking.
No. How should we prevent presidents from passing executive orders that violate constitutionally protected rights?
That is a good question. You would need some sort of force mechanism. That's what you would need.
And what would that force mechanism be, Stephen?
Well, considering that the courts aren't a force mechanism, they're interpreters of law, I would say that it would be I believe we already do have a process in place. We have an impeachment process in Congress.
Okay, so so let me just confirm: if a president is violating your rights via an executive order, it's up to Congress to impeach that president to stop this rights violation from happening.
Correct.
And if Congress is all supporters and loyalists of the president, now what?
Well, that's the consequence of an election. And hypothetically,
Stephen, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. You're a fucking moron. Goodbye.
Order?
Sorry, you're a moron. I'm not doing this. I can't do this. I can't do this with stupid people like this. Like, not after the last call I just had. I can't do a call this fucking dumb. So for real with you right now, I can't do a call this fucking dumb. Say I'm running if you want. I don't give a fuck. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that person was that stupid. Shit, dude. You know how, just so you know, do you know how we have, in the past, what's happened? A judge looks at an EO and says, hey, this is unconstitutional, or hey, this violates a law, or hey, this violates this person's rights. And then that judge will place an injunction and say, you can't do this, President. And then if the president says, well, I don't agree with your judging, lower court judge, we're going to take it up to the next level, the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court will either agree with the injunction or disagree with the injunction. If the Supreme Court disagrees with the injunction, they'll overturn it. And they'll say, sorry, district court, this injunction doesn't hold, the president can do this. Now, that doesn't happen now. What happens now, okay? What happens now is you as the individual have to sue. So you as an individual, you sue the presidency and you go to court. And you say, hey, President, I think this executive order violates my rights. The president will say no, obviously, because they tend to do that. And then what will happen is the president will go, the lower district court will say, okay, well, I agree with the case. You can't violate this person's rights anymore. And that one person gets their rights back. But because they can't place an injunction on something that the courts have determined are a violation, that doesn't apply to literally anybody else. The president can still violate everybody else's rights under that order. And the other people, they now have to individually sue as well. This is the problem with removing injunctions. Is a court can't protect people, and it centralizes power into the executive branch. Yeah, I don't think many people know that the Supreme Court is the final step of deciding if something is unconstitutional. They're not the first. Lower district courts can also decide if your constitutional rights are violated. You also have state Supreme Courts, which can do it as well. So, what happened is Donald Trump stole 2 Supreme Court picks. He then used these Supreme Court picks to fill them with loyalists. He then got those loyalists to say, well, lower courts can't pass injunctions anymore. And so on, and so on, and so on. And thus it goes. I'm going to eat a cookie, because I deserve a cookie. And, according to Steven, the only way you can stop this from happening is if you get the president impeached. Which, good luck if he controls the Congress. Good luck. Good luck getting a president impeached if he controls the Congress. It's such stupid shit, dude. It's the type of argument where it's like, well, it's not fascism until the last step of fascism. It can't be fascism until the final little bit of fascism, guys. You have to reach that final little level of fascism in order to be a fascist. You can't be, like, gearing up to the fascism. You have to reach that last level, guys. You have to reach that last level of fascism, guys. It's so fucking dumb. Injunctions, by the way, have happened to every president. You know how they had to pause? Biden had to pause his student loan forgiveness? That was because of an injunction. He had to pause. And the reason for the pause is so that if the Supreme Court does determine that you're violating the rights, you can't just keep violating rights while you're waiting for the Supreme Court. Like, think about how fucking crazy that shit is, dude. So, by the way, if the liberals come for your guns next administration, let's say the Democrats get in and get power, and they pass an EO to come for your guns, and he starts taking your guns away, gonna suck for you. Would you agree that SCOTUS also should have the power to impeach a president along with increasing its size? I think SCOTUS should always be 50-50 split. So I think you should always have 3. If we're going with the size we have now, what do we have? 9-person Supreme Court? Like, let's say for simplicity's sake, we make the Supreme Court 10. I think it always should be split down the middle, even 50-50. Because I just have a feeling that if we did it this way, you wouldn't have as many one-sided decisions. No, Gary, you're right. Democrats are never going to do the same shit because they're spineless. You're absolutely correct there. there's some calls that you just can't, like homie said to stop a president, like you have to get Congress to impeach him, which is just fucking crazy. So I'm sorry, I was not dealing with that shit anymore. Where's my Obsidian folder? I need to make a folder with just hold on, new folder, MAGA is fascist. And then I'm going to make a whole, I'm going to have to go in, maybe I'll do it tonight. I have time tonight. Maybe I'll do it tonight. I'm going to go in and basically do a whole thing about like how they're ceding power, all the examples of them ceding power. I think that would be good. Or should it be a folder that says debate topics? Yeah, it should be a folder that says debate topics. And then in the debate topics folder is the MAGA is a fascist folder, because that's one of the topics that I do. That's good. You know, I hate to agree with I think his name was Justin, whatever his name was in the chat, because I don't like that guy. But yes, it is insane how Nixon resigned amid what would now be considered the mildest of scandals. But yeah, we'll have to go into detail the exact, because there's more than just what I say. I'm giving examples that are like talking about the Supreme Court. We can talk about all the shit he did with Doge and with Elon Musk and the seizing of government computers, the software he put on government computers, the taking of personal data. I think that's the biggest one, is the taking of Americans' personal data. I think that's one of the biggest ones. We can talk about his control over media, how CBS basically CBS and TikTok are now going to be owned by Israel. CBS is owned by Ellison, Larry, not his son, right? His son. No, it is his son, right? It's Larry and his son, whatever. I did a whole story about this on Red Mirror Media. You can go over to that page and you can see how Israel essentially is going to have a 45% controlling stake in TikTok. It's just fucking crazy. So it's a whole litany of things. Anyway, let's bring in the next person. Again, I don't give a shit if you say I ran from that debate. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to deal with stupidity. A stupidity at that level, especially after the call I had before, I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with it. How do I share an Obsidian folder? Debate topics, show links, source list, sources from daily shows. How do I share an Obsidian folder? Wait, let's make a new folder and put it as Jovan Bradley Obsidian, or Jovan Bradley stream. No, what should I label it? Are we going to continue posting on TikTok as soon as the sale goes through? No, I'm done. I'm off the app fully once the sale goes through. I'm deleting the app off my phone. Jovan Bradley stream assets? No. Jovan Bradley things. What happens when the sale goes through? When the sale goes through, Oracle, who is one of the companies doing the sale, gets a 45% control of TikTok. And this includes getting complete control over the TikTok algorithm. Oracle is a company that's loyal completely to Israel. Oracle is a company that literally told their employees, if you don't support Israel, you can't work here. Oracle is a company that told in-company emails that said, hey, our job should be to indoctrinate children into, I'm naming it Jovan's Secret Sack, thank you, indoctrinate children into being pro-Israel from birth. We need to build Israeli support into the American consciousness. Jovan Bradley's Secret Sack is great. That's what we're going to name it. Then we'll put the debate topics in there, the show links, the source links, and the sources from the daily news. Then, now the question is, how can I access this? Like, how can I give you guys access to this folder is my next question. Make a copy, move it in a search and folder, bookmark, copy path, show in System Explorer, rename. I know you can share your Obsidian folders. I just don't know how. Pour up, drank. Head down, drank. Are you syncing into a cloud service? No. Do I need to? Your work uses Oracle software. Yeah, most do. Oracle has a massive market share over if somebody wants to write me up directions to this, then write me up directions and I'll figure out how to do it. Oracle has a massive market share in most business services, unfortunately. Sorry, I missed a bunch of super chats. Lars Mangold said Stephen can impeach these nuts. True. Mahogany said racists are mad they have baby wee-wees. True. Kofman said Trump met all 14 points of fascism by the end of the first term. Now it's so obvious that you can't deny it. If you don't know by now, it's because you're complicit. True. Megan said, had to move money around. Sorry, my post-racist white guilt reparations are late. Glam Pixie said, fascist bootlickers get destroyed here. True. So true. Paul said, it's hard to debate someone that needs to ignore facts to make the world make sense. These people are delusional. Ibram's just a piece of shit, though. True. David Punzalin said, thanks for speaking for us. You're welcome. The Stank is Dank said, average ice. Oh, yeah, we read that one. I love that. Average ice applicant is still so funny. That should be the name of that video. The average ice applicant. God, my new mouse. So I got this new mouse. It's the Logitech MX4, I think. MX Master 4. And so far, I'm liking it. It's not a gaming mouse, but I don't game as much. So I figured, let me just go with like an ergonomic mouse that like is a bit more. And it's got haptic on the buttons. And so this thing has a cool feature where if you're scrolling softly, it does that like bump, 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 bump thing that scroll wheels do. But then if you scroll fast, it just goes really quickly and it stops the bump. And it's so fun to kind of just sit here and play with. It's low-key so fun. I have my gaming mouse, so if at some point I want to switch to gaming, I have this one. And they're both hooked up, so I can use both of them. So if I'm ever like, oh, I want to play gaming, like this is a much better mouse for gaming. I just don't actually really have a need for it because I don't game. I don't game to the point where I need a mouse like that. I don't play those kind of games. Andrew, thank you for the Venmo. Said going top rope with an elbow. Oh, going top rope with an elbow. I can't fucking read. Oh, man, we got to do a bingo, don't we? We got to do 2 bingos. Yeah, I think Twitch just earned a bingo from that. Yeah, we got to do bingo on Twitch. So we'll do that before we play Pokemon today. If chat still wants to play Pokemon. All right, let's take the next call. Oh, nope, nobody's on the call list. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, Steven was the last call. Damn, I don't know what I said on Instagram, but they are fucking shafting my visibility. Pat in the chat said, thank you for the super chat, said, how the fuck do MAGA supporters not see that some of the policies they endorse to stick it to the libs will affect them too? What the actual fuck? We're all in the same shit. Please stop drilling holes in the hull. I wish I had an answer for you. I want to say stupidity, but, you know. We're going to do bingo. We're going to do bingo. So if you are, we're going to end the debate portion of the stream there. Come over to Twitch. We're going to do some bingo. We do debate bingo. What we do is we watch old debates while playing bingo. So We're going to go do that. Calls are stopped there, so we might as well just go play bingo now. Thank you for hanging out with me on stream today, YouTube. Thanks for being here. This video will be up and available for you guys in a week's time if you're not a member. So thanks for being here for this stream, and I will see you guys not tomorrow, Sunday for the weekly dump. I'll see you Sunday for the weekly dump, 1 o'clock. Okay, bye. We might have a surprise. I have to figure out if the surprise is happening this Sunday or not, but there might be a surprise on the weekly dump. So... okay, bye, YouTube. Here we go. Okay, Twitch. Hi, how are you? We're going to play bingo. Okay, pull out of your bingo cards. Pull out your bingo cards. Pull them out, pull them out. It's hard to yell when you're there with the phone shout. Pillow, I'm going to send you the bingo list to you or to... I'm just going to post it in... Oh, I got to add Yemye to our actual mod server. Oh, shit. Yemye, you're not in here, so let me add you. That would explain why Yemye doesn't see the messages I send. When the clock start yelling, bring them out, bring them out. And the bees start smelling, bring them out, bring them out. We are going to do bingo. Does everybody have a bingo card? Do I need to send you guys the link to bingo cards? Do you need the link, chat? Okay, here's the link. Let me pin this. Can you come over and help fix the starter in my car for me? No. I don't know shit about cars, bro. Why are you on YouTube? What? Why aren't you on YouTube? Because bingo is a Twitch only thing? I bought Dispatch on Steam, so I have it on Steam. I'm gonna play it at some point. All right, does everybody have their bingo cards up? I'm going to give you guys until 12:22, so you have 2 more minutes to get your bingo card pulled up. The way bingo works is if you get a bingo, you have to go into the Discord, Red Mirror Media. There is a bingo page, which Pillow should do an add everyone to let them know that the bingo page is open for the day. And you're going to, if you get bingo, you got to screenshot and post your thing there. First person to post wins. We have to do 2 games. Winners essentially get whatever they want. Speaking of, is shit. Is Poke Gurumi here? Poke, are you here today? Because Poke won before, and I'd like to give them their prize. I don't think they're here today. If we see them again, I owe them a t-shirt. I don't know if they're here. Oh, Poke, go choose a t-shirt from the merch shop for your free merch, and I'll send you a link to that today. So go choose a t-shirt. That was for winning the last time. And then Luli wanted a free bingo, so we have to do 2 bingos today. So we're going to have 2 winners, essentially. I don't think we're going to do 2 games, but we'll do 2 winners. You posted bingo cards in our Discord. If either Yemye or Pillow wants to post a link to the Discord, you'll post it in the Discord. Now, the Discord is locked. It's for paid supporters only, just because it was made at a time I was getting doxxed and shit. So the only channel you'll be able to really access is the bingo channel. Oh, a pro-life debate. We don't get many of those. Now, I'm going to generate my bingo card. Tokenizing, can't define communism, slur, yapping, running, concedes, don't even anecdotes. I don't think we have a lot of pro-life stuff on the board. So I don't know that we're going to get much from this one. The Solidarity Sauce shirt, you got it. Let me get that for you real quick before we start. And then after this, we're going to play Pokemon, the new Pokemon game. So if you want to play the new Pokemon game, after bingo, we're going to play. So we can have 2 bingo winners. Okay, Poke Gurumi, there's your prize. So I can take you off the board. You got your prize. All right, we're going to start bingo. Here we go. Video. First one is, can Jovan turn this young man pro-choice? That's the first video on our bingo board. Let's turn the playback speed to 1.5 and get cooking. Loud as fuck, boy.
Hello, are you here to debate?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't say that anymore.
What's your name, major pronouns?
Raiden 18, he, him.
Raiden 18, he, him. Okay, Raiden, what topic are you here to debate about?
Okay, that's too fast.
Pro-choice.
1.2.
Okay. Do you agree with the pro-choice stance?
By the way, if you hear anything where you're like, Jovan, this should be on the bingo board, tell me, and I can add it. Yeah, but you'd have to say, oh, I think this should be on the bingo board, and if I like it, I'll add it. It won't go for today, but it will be there for future bingos.
Oh.
Okay, and why not?
Because I feel like it is not right to be able to just wait until get in the
Oh, we need to add that, like,
when it has a living heartbeat and that it's
mic issues / phone
Okay, so you're
issues.
making the claim that killing
That's a
living
good one.
beings is
I'm
morally
adding
wrong.
that to the list.
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because you're not even giving a chance for an unborn life to live.
Okay, let me ask you that just sort of repeated the thing, right? You're saying killing it is wrong because you killed it, right? That was sort of a circle. Let me ask you a different question. Is it always wrong in all circumstances to kill another human being?
No.
Okay, so there are circumstances where killing another human is justified.
I will say, if you have been raped or anything along those lines, or it is a direct threat to the mother, then it's okay. But other than that, no.
Okay, before we get to that, right, and we'll get to that, just can you answer this question? Is there?
Hey, I know you can't see my bingo board, but it's
killing
fine.
Another human being is justified.
I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, I guess I can put it on the screen kind of small if you guys want
Love
to.
that.
But
next question I have for you is: you said that now that we know that killing some human beings is justified, why is it that killing a fetus is not a justifiable action?
Does that count as circular?
What is it about
No.
the fetus that makes killing this creature not justified?
I wouldn't say that counts as circular.
Because they haven't even been given the chance to live yet.
Why does being given the chance to live matter when it comes to the justification of killing any being?
Good question.
Because they haven't done anything wrong.
Okay, so the claim is that they are innocent, and therefore, because they are innocent, it is unjustified to kill them.
Yes.
You did, however, say that if somebody is raped, they can have an abortion. What changed? The fetus is still innocent here. So are we just special pleading with the innocent factor? The fetus doesn't magically become uninnocent when somebody's been raped, right? Or they're a product of incest, right?
I mean, even then, though, you don't have to wait until the...
But your past self said that was a
circle.
Okay, yeah, if past me said that's a circle, yeah, let's say circular. I'll say circular then. If past me said it, then I agree. I agree with past me. Real past Jovan, real. It started with my past self. And then I had to crap self. And everybody talks bad. Hey, baby, won't you walk my way when you come my way and come here? Okay, there we go. Okay. Now you can see my bingo board.
93% of all abortions in the United States happen within the first trimester. So people genuinely aren't waiting. Specifically, it's before 13 weeks.
And I said we said circulars
one, right? The first 6 weeks before there's even a heartbeat.
Well, some people don't know they're pregnant within the first 6 weeks. So what do they do? But none of this,
you start to get symptoms in the first couple of weeks. It doesn't take.
Some people do. Some people get symptoms. Have you ever heard of an ecryptic pregnancy?
What?
A cryptic pregnancy.
I have not.
Okay. A cryptic pregnancy is when somebody is pregnant and they don't know they're pregnant. They literally give birth and they never knew they were pregnant.
I wouldn't say facts over feeling is one yet. No.
I mean, yeah. That you can't really do anything about. I do agree with that.
Sure, I'm just saying the claim that it's 100% certain that people know within the first 6 weeks is just not true. Right? Some people can spot, like they can have spotting early on in pregnancy.
I don't know that we're going to get a lot in this video.
Even know if they've missed a period.
Should we do a thing where if you donate what do we say, like $5? If you tip $5, we have to re-roll we have to move to the next video. This could be a fun way for you to clinch a win. Like, let's say this video seems like it's going to get you a bunch of wins. That could be a fun way to like clinch a win. Is you move to the next video. Right? Kind of funny. But in case someone's like, fuck, this isn't working for my board, you could always $5 and move to the next board. I think we'll implement that starting now.
Okay, but I feel like in the case of like you talking about being raped and stuff,
Anyone else think the new camera setup is better? It's the same setup.
I mean, if you've been raped, you know the risk. So why don't you just take a pregnancy test? Why do you wait?
Okay, but the question isn't about the waiting; it's about the justification, right? You've made the claim that the reason why
we have to skip some of these
because the fetus is innocent.
However, I don't want to watch this one. This one's super old. I don't.
The fetus is still innocent. You say that abortion is justified then. So the innocence of the fetus isn't actually the justification for why abortion is wrong.
This is a new camera. I do miss my old camera, though.
I disagree that I think there's been like many times where the mother's been raped and she still keeps the baby and she's happy.
Sure,
Do I think
but we're
it's
not talking
necessarily
about
the option?
We're not making a value claim.
No,
We're not. But really quickly, Raiden, I'm not making a value claim on like the fetus as a whole. The value claim would come to the fetus, to the person who's pregnant. So some people place moral value on their fetuses, even if they were born out of rape or incest, right? But that's not what we're talking about.
Well, it's also the past video didn't have. I didn't have any lights
and
up.
whether
in the
or not
background.
there is moral justification when it comes to abortion.
Anecdotes? No, anecdotes need to be about like your personal life or something like that. Like telling a personal story or a story of a friend you know.
That even in cases where those lives are still
Does
innocent,
gifting a sub count as a skip? Sure, if you want to gift subs, we can count that as a skip too. But for subs, you gotta get 5 subs.
There's something else.
So it costs more to skip
yes,
on
I do
with
see your
subs.
point on that.
Okay. So if we know it's not about the fetus being innocent, what is the actual reason why anybody shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion? If it's not about the fetus being innocent, what's it actually about?
Because you make the decision to do the stuff that could get
I'm
you
pretty
pregnant.
sure
Like,
this video
if you're-
ends
if
with
you're
him
making those
conceding.
decisions, you know the
I'm
risk
pretty sure
that
this video
comes
ends
out.
with him conceding. So
Okay,
I know
so
we're
the
gonna
reason
get that
you
at
believe
least.
that you shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion is because you believe if somebody had sex that they should be forced to deal with whatever the consequences of that sex might be, one of those consequences being pregnancy.
Yes.
Okay. And this is logically
I'm gonna add,
consistent
but
with
is it a
other
life
claims
to
that,
the board?
Rape and incest should be justified allowances, right? Because in this claim, you're
As
saying
like
that
a-
if you made a conscious decision, if you consciously did action A, you are now consenting to outcome A, for example. Would that be a correct restatement of your position?
Damn, and this one's not even gonna break 30 minutes.
Do you believe this in all cases, or is this a special plead for this specific cases? Do you believe that anyone who engages in any action A, is now consenting to any outcome of said action? So this could be outcome A, B, C, or D.
Yes.
Okay.
Rem Rock, thank you for
If
subscribing with your Amazon Prime.
If a woman goes on a
Red
blind
Trillium, thank you for subscribing 15
right, she's
minutes
going
ago.
on
I
a
didn't
blind
see
date
it.
with someone she's never
Apologies.
met before. This would be action A, correct?
Yep.
So if she gets raped on that blind date, this would be outcome A. Because she consented to the action, did she consent to that outcome?
But she didn't consent to be raped.
No, but
What
you
I'm
said that
saying
you
is
said that consenting to an action. Hold on, just to go back over what we said. You said consenting to action A is consenting to all of the outcomes of said action, and this would be in her getting assaulted on that date is a possible outcome of the action of going on that date.
Damn, I thought this video would do better on like Instagram and
I
TikTok.
wasn't
It really
saying
isn't.
her consenting to a date and getting raped means she can't. That still falls under the category for getting raped. I'm talking about people
I agree with you here that consenting to going on a date is not consent to every outcome of said date. Just like consenting to getting in a car and driving is not consent to every outcome of said thing, right? Because that's not how consent works. You don't consent to outcomes. You just acknowledge that there is a risk of outcomes. So when we bring this back to abortion, consent to sex is
Actually,
not
the
you
consent
consenting to
argument
pregnancy.
tends
It's you
to be
acknowledging
easily
the risk
countered.
of pregnancy.
Well,
so if you're not
I guess not
consenting
easily
to the
countered,
pregnancy,
but
why should
I
the
can think
abortion
of
not be
counters
allowed?
to it.
I mean, if you are
Isn't there a
a
doesn't know about consent
risk, like
board?
that's a
No.
risk that comes with it.
Okay, I'm gonna add a thing. I'm gonna add a thing.
Let's just ask this again.
Misunderstands consent.
This
or
would be
doesn't
action A.
understand consent.
Are you consenting to living with all of the potential risks that come with all of the potential outcomes from engaging in action A?
Jovan breathes is just the free
Okay,
space.
then you agree that somebody who goes on a blind date is consenting to getting raped because they are consenting to everything. Consent is vastly different from an acknowledgement. Consent means you are allowing this to take place, right?
True.
So you're saying that somebody who's consented to an action is consenting to all of the outcomes of said action, which
Nobody's
means
getting anything on the
consenting to
board?
a blind date, as an
God
example,
damn.
is consent to being assaulted on that date, or consent to driving is consent to getting into an accident, or consent to going skydiving is consent to your parachute not opening.
I mean, I would say so because, I mean, I feel like you've acknowledged those risks and you've proceeded with it, so therefore you're consenting to it.
Okay. Do you understand the difference between consenting to something and acknowledging that something might happen?
Yes.
Okay. What are the differences between those two things?
I mean, I can acknowledge something and like, oh yeah, that could happen, or whatever. And just, that's like knowing your risks, whereas like consenting to it is moving, like you're moving forward with it and you're saying it's okay.
Okay.
Well, if somebody wants to skip to the next video, let me know.
You would agree that, or I would hope you would agree, that when you have sex, you are acknowledging a bunch of things that could happen as a result of said sex, but you're not necessarily agreeing for those things to happen to you. You're acknowledging that they may, but you're not giving an affirmative agreement that they will or that you want them to.
Then why what's the purpose of going
I don't know who that is,
and then having an accident
Trombonator.
and then being like, oh, I'm going to get an abortion because it's okay. Like,
Well, because
that's where I think everything is so skewed, is because it's like you can do this and be like, oh, whoops, I made a mistake. It's okay.
Yeah, let me break it down for you. When it comes to consent, I agree. You must consent to pregnancy or to consent to sex. You must consent to sex, right?
Yes, I do
Sex
agree.
Sex is an agreement between two sentient beings for something to happen. Let's say you get pregnant. Well, now we're in a pass here where consent to, as a general rule of thumb, me consenting to one action is not me consenting to multiple actions there.
I'll give
As a
feelings
general
over
rule of
facts.
thumb.
Well, no, because
If I
we're not having an
consent to
argument
driving,
about facts.
I'm
We're
not
having an
now
argument
also
about.
consenting to getting into a street race, right? So consenting to the sex is different than consenting to the pregnancy. Now, the only time that you can consent to a pregnancy is when you find out you're pregnant. Once you find out you're pregnant, now there becomes a level of consent here. Now, do you know one of the key tenets of consent is that you must be able to revoke that consent at any time?
Okay.
So if I'm consenting to being pregnant, right, that consent must be revocable. Otherwise, it's not consent, it's force. And I think you would agree that forcing people to stay pregnant is probably a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we're going to just look at a basic level of human freedom, you must be able to revoke that consent. So if we agree that you have to agree to be pregnant and you have to consistently agree to be pregnant, then we also agree that you must be able to revoke that agreement to be pregnant at any time.
To an extent.
What's the extent?
He's going to concede to me. He concedes.
Are you no
in
longer
this
allowed
video,
to
if I
revoke
remember.
consent?
Like, see, that's again, like, I feel like I
So
can't
somebody
believe that. I feel
like that's an instance where somebody fucked somebody over. If somebody paid $5 to move on before he fully concedes, that'd be
Okay.
fucking insane.
We can get into the weeds of like of the trimesters and all that, but my big question to you though is you're telling me
you wouldn't get the point.
It's a point where somebody is no longer allowed to revoke consent. What is that? What is the justification for this? That at this point in time, you can no longer revoke consent. You've gone from a general, because I agree, first trimester abortions are probably the ones we want to strive for, but now you're making the claim that at some point you can no longer revoke your consent. It has now become a forced thing. So what is the justification for the force after the first trimester?
It's not being forced. Like, you made the choice to get pregnant in the first place, and now all of a sudden you don't want to. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but we've
not
already
fair.
wait. We've already agreed that consent must be revocable. It doesn't matter the reason why. You wouldn't look at somebody who you're having sex with and go, well, you can't tell me to get off now because you said that you wanted to do it in the first place, right? That's not how consent works. You have to be able to revoke your consent for any reason. Otherwise, it is not consent; it is force. And when we look at like the way pregnancy works, the UN classifies forced pregnancy as literal torture, right? So what is the justification for revoking the ability to consent from somebody between the first and second trimester?
I mean, I guess there isn't necessarily a justification except moral purposes.
Okay, so you're saying that the justification is just intuition, right? It's not, there's no like justification grounded in some sort of logical principle. It's just that you're going, well, intuitively it feels wrong to have an abortion in the second trimester.
Yes.
Okay, why does that feel wrong? Analyze those intuitions for a second.
What?
I just want you to analyze those intuitions for a second.
Starting to get a
I
headache.
just feel like you
might
wait
not play
that
Pokemon.
long, and it's just like, because like the longer you wait, the more like.
Depends on how
brutal
long
it is, like,
bingo
I
goes.
guess, going back to that, like, just the abortions become more like brutal and this and that, and it's just becoming more and more inhumane.
Okay, why does the brutality of the abortion matter?
No, I'm out of focus in this video. Like this
I'm
is
gonna
out of
ask you
focus.
this. If, like, if you're just,
Before
like,
you do, let me just tell
walking
you.
down
Let me
the-
before you do, let me just tell you. You're on
I'm
a
definitely
good
more in
path of
focus right now.
deconstruction right now, and we're getting somewhere really good here. I'll let you ask your question. I'm just telling you the reason I'm asking these questions is because there is a very good logical path we're working down that's
I
going
haven't
to
really
lead
played
to
ZA. I
hopefully,
haven't started it yet.
An
Like, I
epiphany
played like
for
5
you
minutes
at the end
of
of
it.
this conversation, but you can go ahead and ask your question.
You went back and saying, is there justification in killing people? And my question to you, though, is it okay just to, like, cut people up into pieces because you are no longer okay with your decision?
Well, I would say it depends on what we're defining as people. But yes, it is sometimes okay to cut human beings up into pieces. I mean, we have cadavers that we use for medical science, right? If we're going to talk about the way we kill something, I think there is justification here in some instances in how we kill stuff, right? Right now you're saying, hey, the brutality of the way we kill this creature matters. And I'm just asking you to to tell me why. Why does it matter? Like, let's say we have a fetus, okay? And we'll it can be whatever time in the womb you want it to be. Why does it matter if I kill it with a quick flip a switch and it's dead, or I cut it up into pieces and toss it into a dumpster? What is the reason one of these you think is morally wrong, while the other you don't have as much moral objection to?
I mean, I honestly just think it has to do with just the brutality of it, because it's just like, I mean, it's no different than like someone who commits like murder. Like,
sure, but we know it's about the brutality, right? Because you're saying the brutality is bad because it's brutal, right? I want to know why the brutality is why.
If we didn't have a circular before, we definitely would know.
Like, why? Not just because it is, right? We know that it is.
It's sickening. It's sickening to listen to and like hear about, because it's just like, it's such a grisly way of killing somebody.
Now, this, I think we need to go feelings over fact, because he's just doing intuition.
Okay.
So I'm going to grant it to us.
Let me try to walk you through the thought train here, okay?
So if you have feelings over facts, go nuts.
That there are instances where brutally killing people is very bad, right? I agree that there are instances where just killing people in general is morally wrong, okay?
Yep.
When we look at why killing is wrong, my answer is never going to be killing is wrong because it just is.
Yeah, we really got like a good faith debate, which makes it hard.
What is the change in form that humans go through when they die? And the change in form that I think is the most important is the brain death. Your brain dying is the most important thing that happens.
I'm eating in this. I'm doing real good in this fucking.
This is why we consider brain dead patients whose bodies may still be functioning to be functionally dead. Because the part that is valuable, the brain, the mind, the consciousness, the some people will interpret it as a soul, that part is gone, right? So when I see this,
I'll add that to the board.
Okay, so
that good faith call
is the piece that places some level of moral value on us. It's that brain.
Yeah.
So when I look at abortion, I look at, okay, when does a brain development turn you into a person? When does that personhood come into question? I would say personhood starts as sentience. Sentience is the ability to experience the world around you. It's the ability to take in sensory information into the brain. Sentience is more important than consciousness. People aren't even really conscious for like the first couple weeks of life. So sentience is something that all like living creatures have to an extent.
Aggie, that's so funny. Sounds like to me that I can't define what communism is.
24 weeks, give or take. Could be as early as 22, could be as late as 27, but around 24 weeks, give or take, is when humans essentially become sentient. So I can agree with you and say, hey, abortions past this level that kill the fetus, I can agree are
here comes the
morally
concession,
bad.
I think.
Because the thing that I place moral value to
Yeah,
is
we're getting
now,
we're
there's
about
a
to
whole
get
other
the
question
concession
about the justification, which we'll get to. But I can then look and say, okay, well, at 24 weeks, the beauty of human development is you're also typically going to be able to maintain homeostasis at that time. So now I'm seeing, okay, the fetus at 24 weeks not only develops sentience, but is also able to survive on its own. So I'd say you can still have an abortion. You can still remove the fetus from your body, but you would just do it without killing it, which we can take both hysterectomy abortions and induction abortions, and we can just retool those and we don't kill the fetus. Then abortion.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Okay, then you would agree.
That is a very good point, and I do agree.
Concede.
I guess I had it in my head that abortion was different than just
that's a concession.
I define abortion. Harvard Medical School used to define it this way. They've changed recently with some policy, like some federal policy changes, so they can't define it this way anymore. But I define abortion as the removal of the contents of pregnancy from the womb. Whatever way you remove it.
Steamrolling is where they just won't. They'll just keep talking.
Medically,
they won't
removing
like,
the contents of pregnancy. I would
every time I try to talk, they just
so
keep
I can
talking
say that
over
abortion
me.
is justified throughout the
All right,
entirety of the
this one is
pregnancy
pretty much cooked.
after
Let's move
20.
to the next one.
Hello, are you here to debate? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? You here to debate?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It kind of... Hold on, my phone's up. All right, yes, I'm here to debate. Let's see, so my name... I was going to try and, watch you at the same time, and then my phone cut out, and et cetera. Hello?
Yep, still here.
We're playing bingo.
So, let's see, so you say you want to teach LGBTQ topics in schools.
Was that a look at camera?
I think I'm like your last caller.
But what type of look at camera? Was it like a...
Let's see, so my name... I was going to try and, watch you at the same time, and then my phone cut out, and et cetera.
No, that doesn't count. It's got to be an office-style look to camera,
All right, so let's see. So you say you want to teach LGBTQ topics in schools. I was just kind of wondering, I think I'm like your last caller there, where I'm not incredibly informed or knowledgeable, but I'm definitely ready to, accept new ideas and whatnot. So my question for you is just generally, what would you be teaching in schools as far as LGBTQ topics go?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you know. Can I just first get your name, age, and pronouns?
Oh, yeah, so my name's John. My age is 22, and my pronouns are he, him.
All right, thank you, John. When we say teach LGBTQ topics in school, we're talking about a few things, right? The first would just be
I feel like we're not going to... I feel like this is going to be another one of those...
very significant historical moments that happened. Wait, did you say 22 or 29?
Yeah, the last call wasn't over 30 minutes.
Well, I dissociated there for a second. There are very they're very relevant historical moments in history, that took place with LGBTQ individuals, especially in our country, right? Like the Stonewall riots. Talking about Harvey Milk is
no, that wasn't referenced past call. It's got to be way more specific than that. Specifically something you said this to your last caller. You said this.
Yeah, we would
I'm here to talk about what you said to Jim.
There's the social aspect of it. I believe that we should probably teach kids, that gay people exist. We should teach kids that there are families that have gay parents. We should teach children that trans people exist. You're going to meet trans people. Because one of the things we know is that when you learn about a type of person...
No, as long as it hits the 30-minute mark,
even
if it's sped up, as long as this hits 30 minutes,
campus, see a decrease
then I would count it.
Gay students. Right. So we would also teach them that. And as they get older, we would get into more we would get into when they're young, we teach them that it's okay to love whoever you love. But as they get older, gay students need to learn the same sex ed that straight students learn. They need to learn what is safe, how to have safe sex, how to protect themselves.
This isn't going to be a hit, guys. This isn't going to be a hitter.
Hey, this is what gender is. This is
going to be another non-hitter.
All the we start young and we start simple, and then we just advance the topic as they get older.
Yeah, and I'm generally, I would say, all for having people be educated on all these things, because you're right. Obviously, gay people need sex ed. It's different in some ways. I'm not sure technically off the top of my head how, but I'm sure it's different in some ways than the information that you as a straight person would know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing where I'm kind of confused, I guess is the best way to put it, is because you have these gay topics that I've seen just from existing in the world, right? I met trans people and they're chill and they're cool, and I've met gays.
If someone goes into a playground and takes a small...
This is a good one, right? I think this will be good for us.
Hello, you here to debate?
Yeah.
All right, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
You can call me Charlie, 29. I'll give you my pronouns, but just to start off, I think the question, here's a little twist. I think the question itself can be perceived as insulting. And I'll tell you why. Because for thousands of years, people assumed each other's gender. And they did it through their own intelligence. Nobody had to mansplain to them or anything like that.
I'm sorry,
I'm a woman.
I would call this a pronoun crash out.
It's wait. I just want to confirm something.
Is pronoun crash out on the list?
Yeah, it is.
This is pronoun crash out.
Yeah.
Male pronoun.
Hey, I'm talking now. I want to confirm something.
Ooh, and that's a steamroll right there.
More insulting to not assume something is what you're saying, as opposed to assuming something.
We got pronoun crash out and steamroll in the first 2 minutes of this video.
I'd like to get to a topic.
Well, I'd like you. You brought this up. You brought this up. If you didn't want to talk about it, you shouldn't have brought it up. But you did bring it up. So now we're going to talk about it. Do you believe it's more insulting to assume something than it is to not assume something?
You have a board. You have a topic that you brought up. A list of topics that you offer people to talk about.
Is this refusing to answer questions?
You brought up something different. So now we're going to talk about that different thing.
100%.
Is it more insulting? I know you're. Are you afraid to answer?
At the start. So you can use. No,
are you afraid to? Okay, so then answer the question. Is it more insulting? Is it more insulting to assume something than it is to not assume something? Which one's more rude?
Depending on the individual, one person might say that you're assuming that I don't know that, You're assuming I don't know that? Well, you call me stupid? Of course I know that. So somebody might have that approach. Of course I have
Someone
eyes, don't I?
might
Are you
have
saying
the
I'm stupid? Are you
approach.
saying I'm too stupid to say that? Some people might even go
What?
as far as to say that that's racist. Oh, what? Because I'm black or because I'm white, I can't know that? Of course
You can't
I am.
know
People will
what?
get
This isn't yapping.
about that.
Wait. You're saying it is rude to assume things. Because here we
No,
have
I'm saying that
people.
some people.
No, that's an
No, I'm saying
assumption.
that some
If
people
I
have
say,
that response in the world.
hey, you must not know this, so let me explain this to you. That would be an assumption. And you're saying some people would get mad because you would have assumed something instead of asking them.
Have you never witnessed that in nature? Have you never witnessed that?
Wait, okay,
Mansplaining?
so then let me just confirm
Never
again.
witnessed that?
Let me just confirm again. When I asked you your pronouns, that's not assuming something. That's giving you the option to dictate and tell me because I'm not assuming. So you've just told me assuming is wrong because assuming makes people mad and I wasn't assuming.
Sure.
So there we go. So I guess I was right.
In a broader sense,
I guess I was right.
In a broader sense, it also compels language in a broader sense.
Whoop-de-doo.
Enough people will...
Just by speaking English, I compel language. Whoop-de-fucking-do. We compel language all the time. Who gives a fuck? Can you scream fire in a crowded theater? No, that's compelled language. You're not crying about that, are you?
I'm allowed to be upset about compelled language.
Nobody's compelling you.
Legally mandated.
Oh my God, nothing's legally mandated here. Wow. You called into a show that asks the same 3 questions at the beginning of every call.
No, and you immediately get off topic. But okay.
You
so
brought
how about we bring up. Let's bring up the topic.
Hold on. Hold. You're gonna go on hold if you talk over me. I did not bring up you being butthurt about pronouns.
I don't have
so I stepped on the topic you brought up. You
What's
said
just crash out? Not yet, but I'm almost
to
to a crash
I
out.
want to talk about this first. Do I need to replay the fucking tape of you doing that?
No, of course
or did
not.
you forget already?
No, but can we get to a topic that's on the board?
Did you Not until you concede the point.
We're not debating that.
Well, we are actually because you brought it up. If you didn't want to talk about it, don't bring it up.
Okay.
Super simple.
Fine. Fine. I answered all your questions, so I gave you my side. You give me your side.
I'd say running. Yeah, he brought up something that he refuses to stand on business on. I would say running. Yeah.
Then we can move on with the debate.
No, that wasn't a good enough Jovan
Your side was that it's wrong to make assumptions about people, yet I didn't make assumptions about people.
No.
So your side was wrong and illogical. Yes, you did.
I said that
we're playing in
bingo.
Bingo.
This happens all the time on a day-to-day basis. If you ever leave your house, you can go
playing
out
bingo.
and you can have a normal, honest conversation with all your best intentions, and you can say something to somebody that they already knew, and because of how they are as a
I wouldn't count this on pivot
they
yet.
will get butthurt
because he called it and said, "I don't want to talk about this. I'm just going to say this," and I'm holding his feet to the fire. So I wouldn't say him trying to go to what he actually wanted to talk about.
Because you made an assumption. How is me asking a question explaining something to you?
If you also let me go on, I was going to go on and talk about how it's compelled speech. A whole bunch of issues with that.
Well, you didn't bring up compelled speech at first. You brought up fucking assumptions.
No, because you interrupted me, and then you threatened to put me on hold.
No,
can we
brought
talk
up
about gender affirming care or something that's actually a topic that
you've shown that you're super intelligent on this one. Let's see how intelligent you are in gender affirming care. Go ahead.
I haven't looked at the camera though.
Yeah, thanks. You just insult all your callers. That's great.
I insult people that deserve to be insulted. Yeah, 100%.
Shit.
Okay.
It seems like you're just a radical leftist through and through, and that you believe everything the radical left says.
Sure.
Like, is that true? Like, you're just the most extremist radical.
That's
left.
an ad hom.
Sure. Why not?
That's an ad hom because he's not addressing any of the points I made. He's just saying, "Well, you're just a leftist." That's an ad hominem for anyone that was looking for an ad hom.
Why?
Why not?
I'm genuinely curious about this. And I don't want to, I'm actually genuinely...
Oh, I guess it's not an ad com. I'm sorry, take it back. I take it back. It's not an ad hom because he's linking into something.
Trump won.
Sorry, not an ad hom.
The majority of people in the nation, and we can talk about the debate and the numbers and how, only a third of people actually vote. I get it. Right. But it's 2025. Trump won.
Not a straw man.
I don't understand how anybody, especially if they're being genuine in the pursuit of truth and knowledge, how anyone could still be a Democrat and still like, today, or or in your case, you agreed to being a radical leftist. So
I'm adding radical
because I have like
leftists to
fact-based
the.
evidence for all of the things that I believe in.
If you want.
Yeah, no, it's real simple. I have like fact-based evidence for the shit I believe in, so that's why I believe in it. I don't believe things sans evidence. I don't create a worldview and try to look up.
That felt like
solidifies
nervous
that worldview.
laughter.
I allow the evidence to solidify my worldview.
I'll say nervous laughter for
you
him. That
assumed
felt
a
like
lot.
nervous laughter.
What did I
I'm
assume?
just going out there, looking up stuff. Or that? No.
Did I make a
you're assuming
claim
that
about
all
you?
People on the right.
I'm sorry. Did I
You're
just make a
assuming all
claim?
people
Did I
on the
just make a?
right-
Did I make a claim
Please don't
about you
interrupt.
anywhere? No, I'm
Please
going
don't
to.
interrupt.
Did I make a claim about you, or did I make a claim about myself?
Well, both.
No, I said that I formed my worldview because I
If you're
did
not
research.
gonna let me finish a thought, then this isn't gonna go anywhere.
You just talked for like 2 minutes uninterrupted. Are you gonna cry harder? Like what the fuck, bro? Jesus Christ, be an
Dude,
adult.
you were the one that lost your temper first, and I started laughing. Like you were the one that.
Who's lost their temper?
Like see, this is what I'm saying. You're.
What do you think
you're a
losing?
troll.
What do you think losing temper means? Oh, what? Because I talked a little loud, I lost my temper. Is that for real?
Okay, what do you think crying is? Do I have tears running down my face? Like, come on, dude. Can we just be like mature about this for 2 seconds and actually
We
have a
can
conversation?
once you try to say something that's like worthwhile. You went, oh, well,
I'm
you're.
asking you,
well,
when have
you're,
you ever said
yeah.
anything worthwhile?
Look, well, I didn't say do anything. I said say something worthwhile.
And also-
You're going.
no, I
you're
said-
going.
I said,
well, you're a leftist, so
what have
clearly
you
you
ever-
believe.
what have you
Based
ever
on
said that
what?
was-
Based on what
and
evidence do you
interrupt
have?
and you
Oh,
never
here we
stay
go.
on topic.
Here we go. This is literally the topic
Okay.
you brought up. Are you
So,
joking?
Okay.
How come every time I talk about the shit you bring up, you say I'm going off topic?
I asked you a question, dude. I asked you a question. 2025, how could anybody be a
That's
Democrat?
Jovan giggle.
You said because I look at facts, and this is what I was trying to get to before you interrupted me.
Yep.
You said that I look at facts.
Sure do.
And that, I don't go around trying to, confirm my biases. I just look at facts and I'm like that. Okay,
Absolutely.
so then that's saying what I was inferring then, but this is where you cut me off.
Oh, you made an assumption.
And then just made fun of me for 5 minutes. Okay, you're inferring then that everybody on the right just confirms their biases and doesn't actually look into anything, doesn't have any facts?
No,
That's
some
crazy.
people on the right are just bad people.
That's insane. I'm
Yeah.
sorry you feel that way.
Some people on the right
Oh
are
my
just bad.
God.
Do you want to tell me
That's,
one?
uh, that's,
do you want
uh,
to tell me one factual thing you believe about gender affirming care?
One factual thing that I believe. Okay, well, if it's a belief versus fact, like the question itself is kind of silly.
I'm sorry, we don't believe
gender-affirming
facts.
I'm getting my thoughts together. Can you give me a second? Thank you. So respectful. Like, I know you don't think highly of anybody on the right, and that's why you got this thing going on, whatever.
No,
But
I don't think highly
come on,
of you
I'm taking my time
specifically.
to call you, so. What was your question?
My question was, tell me one factual thing that you believe that you have
Somebody get a
read
bingo?
about gender affirming care. If apparently the left doesn't have the facts and the right does.
Oh,
didn't
hold on.
say
There were
that.
some bingos. Okay, the first person that dropped was Luna. Let's see. Jovan giggles, running. Jovan breathes, feelings over facts, front crash out. Yep, Luna got it. EB also got one. Circular, front crash out, Jovan giggles, running, nervous laughter. Yep, got it. Okay, we got 2 bingos, which is how many we were going for today. So everybody give a WW to our winners. Luna and EB. I need you guys to tell me what you want your prizes to be. It can be anything within my power that I want to give you. So you can ask for whatever you want. Jovan's bathwater is crazy. Are you guys here? Either of you? Yeah, that first video was not great. Gonna pick a shirt. Okay, so EB wants merch. And then you just have to wait until I'm able to send you one. So figure out which one you want, and then once I'm able to send it, I'll ask you which shirt you want and send it to you. Luna, if you want to let me know, if you're watching, if you are not typing in chat, if you want to tell me on, like if you want to post in the Discord real quick what you want for your win. I don't know what I can pick. It's a wish, dog. Pick whatever you want. If I can give it to you, I will. If I can't give it to you, I can't. I can straight up do the Killmonger now with how long my hair has gotten. Guess I'll pick merch too. Okay, no problem. You guys get merch. I'll let you know once I'm able to provide you with that merch. It might be a little bit. I mean, I think Poke waited like 3 weeks for theirs. So you just gotta wait, and then once I can, we will. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. I got a headache. I don't really want to play Pokemon right now. I wanna go to sleep. That oh, that feels so good. I don't know why that is a stim sensation if I've ever felt one. Like I'm just yanking on my hair. That one call wiped me. You know which one. So I'm going to go rest. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I'll see you Sunday for the dump. Sorry, I'm scratching. I got to go oil my scalp. See you guys later. Yeah.